the 35th Annual Gator Bowl. From out of the Big Ten, the Wolverines of Michigan against the Tar Heels of North Carolina and the Atlantic Coast Conference. The city of Jacksonville downtown, seen from the Goodyear blimp. And the glittering lights mark the end of the Gator Bowl Festival for 1979, the 35th time a college football game has been played in the postseason in this old Gator Bowl. And it matches a couple of good ones, the Michigan Wolverines and the Tar Heels of North Carolina. And this ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Prudential. For life, health, auto, or home insurance, when you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance. By Chevrolet and your Chevy dealers, inviting you to come down and see the great selection of small Chevys you may have thought hard to get. Chevy's got it. By Mr. Goodwrench and the General Motors Parts Division, who help you keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts. And by Minin, Speed Stick Solid Deodorant from Minin. The solid deodorant that gives you effective protection against odor without wetness, without waste. Speed Stick Solid Deodorant from Minin. And here come the Wolverines of Michigan into the Gator Bowl. With a record of 8-3 in 1979, their coach, Glenn E. Bo Schembechler. Here, the Tar Heels of North Carolina, coached by Dick Crum, with a record of 7 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. Well, the principals have arrived in the arena. Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gator Bowl. I'm Keith Jackson, along with Frank Royals. And Frank, it may seem sometimes to outsiders that the college kids are down here lollygagging around on the beach and playing and having fun and going to parties, but that's not really the case, is it?
No, there's a lot of pride and prestige at stake, and these coaches know that they really need to win the football game, because if they don't, it puts a damper on recruiting, it puts a damper on spring training, and Bo Schembechler thinks enough of this that he's been scrimmaging good against good to try to get his team in top shape for this game.
Last year, the ACC team, Clemson, defeated Ohio State for the Big Ten, and Lordy, you know the folks in the ACC'd like to have 2 in a row for the Big Ten.
Would they ever? They've been talking all week. We want to prove to everybody that the ACC is the equal of any conference in America, and if they can win tonight, this will lay better claim to it.
So then what we're talking about is fun for some, work for some, merchandising for all in behalf of their respective universities. That's what it boils down to. I want to ask you a question. Been a rumor kicking around for the last few hours that Dan Devine might go to Arizona State from Notre Dame. Notre Dame says that is not true. Other part of the rumor is that Lou Holtz might be asked by Notre Dame to come leave Arkansas and go up there. Colonel Jack Stevenson says the story is totally false from the Notre Dame side. What about you from Arkansas?
Well, Notre Dame has not contacted me, Keith, and in my judgment, Notre Dame would never contact a football coach without going through the proper channels.
So that'll take care of that rumor for this holiday season. Right now, we're ready to play football in Jacksonville, the Gator Bowl game between Michigan and North Carolina.
Think it's hard to buy a small Chevy?
Yes, Chevy's got it. Just come and get it.
You see, Chevy's building more small cars than ever before. That means low-priced Chevy Chevettes and Chevy Monzas. And dynamite-looking Camaros. So right now, your Chevy dealer may have just the car you've been waiting for. Chevy's got it, America. Just come and get it.
Yes, Chevy's got it. Just come and get it. Get a brand new Chevrolet.
And we're ready to kick off in the 35th Annual Gator Bowl game from Jacksonville, Florida. Dave Dials is with us tonight. We'll be reporting from the sidelines, especially after what we had happen here a year ago. All right, here's the kickoff. Haji Sheik hits it. It's a very short kick, ricocheting, picked up by a short man. North Carolina has the ball successfully up around the 35-yard line. The offensive unit for North Carolina opens up with Matt Kubek, a senior from New York at quarterback and a good one. Junior, Amos Lawrence. He's had 3 successive 1,000-yard seasons. Good football player there. Doug Pascal at fullback. Wayne Tucker is the flanker out of Richmond. He can flat fly. Jeff Gray is a wide receiver, and he's also another flyer for the white-shirted North Carolina Tar Heels. They, however, are the home team. So here's the first play of the Gator Bowl game of 7-9. They hand it off on the short side to the fullback Pascal, and he goes from the 35 out to about the 39-yard line. The offensive front for North Carolina, a bunch of big guys. Steve Junkman is in there at 250. He plays alongside Ron Wooten at 258, a junior from Kinston. Rick Donnelly at center. He's 248 pounds. On the right side, Mark Sugg, 245. Then you go to Mike Marr, 245, and the tight end, Shelton Robinson, at 225. And Michigan's defense asserts itself as Amos Lawrence carries the ball, and Curtis Greer, number 95, comes pouring in for a loss on the play. And let's have a look at it with Frank Royal.
Curtis Greer was All-American, All-Big Ten, 2 occasions, number 95. He just keeps coming right through into the backfield and makes a great play on Lawrence, who's all Atlantic Coast Conference.
Ball is at the 37-yard line where it is third down and 8 yards to go. And Mike Chatham now, number 88, is in at the tight end position. He flexes to an outside spot. The pass is complete. Coming out of the backfield, it is Amos Lawrence, and Lawrence is across midfield and out of bounds. All the way down around, well, now let's see. They put him back at midfield. They're going to put him back at midfield for a pickup of 13 yards. And that will be the first down of the ball game, and it goes to North Carolina with Curtis Greer, Mike Turkovac, and Dale Kites, the 3 down men for Michigan. Needham, Owens, Cannavino, and Simpkins are the other guys along the line of scrimmage. And in the secondary, it's Jolly, Bremen, Reeves, and Harden. So the Tar Heels get the first down of the ball game. Chatham comes out. Robinson goes back in. And North Carolina sets up in the I formation. Both teams operate pretty much out of the same offense. As Kupak turns, gives the ball to the tailback, and the tailback dives, slides, and goes down right along the line of scrimmage. That's Amos Lawrence. Right now, let's spend a moment with Dave Dial.
Keith, I think wind will be a factor in this game, 25 knots. And we should point out, too, that this is natural turf here at the Gator Bowl. And the last 4 times a Bo Schembechler coach team has been on the natural turf, Michigan has lost. Back to the booth.
All right, 2nd down and 10 from midfield with Chatham into the ball game for North Carolina. He's the man shifting there from the left side over to the right side. And Kupak back to throw, getting some pressure, gets his pass away, and the pass is caught and complete at the 28-yard line, a gain of 22 yards. T.J. Gay, number 15.
Matt Kupak is known around the league of the ACC as a heady football player, good awareness. You're going to see him throw off balance, hit Gay on an out pattern perfectly for a big gain. Just an excellent throw and catch.
45, not 15. Phil Farris was the man who went out there to get it. Phil Farris. First down, North Carolina making a move at the Michigan 28-yard line. 4-man front. Linebackers moving around now. Amos Lawrence goes in motion. The handoff inside to Pascal, the fullback. And he gets about 3 before Cannavino, number 41, the inside linebacker from Cleveland for Michigan, brings him down.
Matt Kupak, quarterback, has started for 4 seasons, had outstanding years, good heady football player, will throw on first down often.
All right, Tucker is out at flanker for North Carolina. Farris is back in, and Kupak on a deep drop. Looks like he wanted to set up a screen, and there was no chance on it. Michigan's pursuit was steady, and there was absolutely no opportunity to get the ball to Pascal, the man that he wanted to carry it off the screen. The officials in the ball game tonight are all out of the Southwest Conference. The referee is Clint Fuller. Marvin Durenberger is the umpire. Buddy Coleman, the linesman. Field judge is J.D. Rowland. You see them. Bill Voss is your line judge, and Jimmy Evans, the back judge, with Johnny Cook handling the clock. The ball is just short of the 25-yard line. 3rd down and about 7 for North Carolina. Kupak again, straight back. Gets his pass off just as he is hit. It is thrown into the corner. It is incomplete. The pass intended for Lawrence. Defending was Michael Harden. As a matter of fact, there was double coverage back there with Mark Bremen also in on the play. And it was number 40, Ron Simpkins, that put the heat on the Carolina quarterback. You're looking at Dick Crum there in his 2nd season at North Carolina. He's been to a postseason game on 2 occasions as the coach of Miami of Ohio, and he won both of them in the Tangerine Bowl. This will be a 42-yard attempt of the field goal against the wind. And as Dave told you, the wind is quite strong, whipping across the floor of the Gator Bowl. It's a low liner, and it is no good. The kick by Jeff Hayes, hooking to the left side and out of there. Hayes was 5 out of 8 at that distance during the regular season. Now Michigan has the ball with John Wengler opening at quarterback. The better thrower, Butch Woolfolk, who had a big year for the Wolverines. Stan Edwards will not be in there at fullback. It'll be Roosevelt Smith. Ralph Clayton will be at wingback, and Anthony Carter, the freshman flyer, will be the wide receiver. Clayton is to the right side of the open side of the field. Carter's at the top of your picture, and Wengler turns to throw on first down, and he goes down the sidelines, and Carter's out there, and he's got it, and they just tripped him up. They just tripped him up as he was inside the 30-yard line and long gone home. A 47-yard pickup, and Steve Streeter saved the touchdown.
John Wengler has a strong arm, and on this particular first play of the game, it's good to go deep. Anthony Carter has outstanding speed, 9'4". He gets in behind Singleton. Momentarily, the ball is right on the target. Anthony Carter caught 5 touchdown passes this season as a freshman.
Alan Mitchell comes in now. Carter out for a breather. The football is marked first down at the Carolina 28-yard line. Wengler gives the ball to Woolfolk, and he runs into a pile of folks led by Donnell Thompson right about the line of scrimmage. Penalty flags all over the place. It looks like we've got ourselves a personal foul coming up here. There's the offensive front for Michigan. They're all big guys. Kurt Becker, for example, at 244. Ed Buransky at 270. The other tackle, Bubba Ferris, at 273. And Doug Marsh at 235 has been the leading receiver. The penalty is against Michigan. It backs them up.
Evidently, one of the Michigan players got a little frisky after the play was over. The referee threw the flag late, which meant it was a dead ball foul. Loss of down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Non-contact foul
is what it goes into the book as.
Let's see if we can detect it at the end of the play. I don't think that it was anything but talking that from the press box. That's all it looked like. Well, it was on the pile.
Second down at about 22, and Wengler back to throw. Down he goes. Brought down by Donnell Thompson, and Thompson now has made 2 big defensive plays for North Carolina. Loss of 11.
Donnell Thompson is a junior, 6'5", 266 pounds. Had 5 sacks during the regular season. Youngster that's improving all through the season.
The football is sitting now back at the Michigan 47. They've got to go to the North Carolina 18 for a first down, so they need 35 yards. Mitchell and Clayton are wide to the open side of the field. Wengler back to throw it. Gets it off. The pass is caught by Marsh, the tight end. Marsh fights his way down to about the 36-yard line. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Now they have the wind behind them. A gain of 18 on that play. With Buddy Curry and Ricky Barton back there to make the defensive stop for North Carolina.
I know that Bo Schembechler was disappointed in someone on his football team for getting that unsportsmanlike penalty. Stopped a good scoring opportunity.
Virgil comes in, but he does not have a kicking tee. Michigan has kicked only 3 field goals this season. 3 of 18.
Out of 18, the lowest percentage in major college football.
So Virgil will punt. What he wants here is a knuckleball to wobble around. Now he takes the 5-second penalty for delay of the game, and that'll back him up 5 yards. But I don't think that makes a whole lot of difference right here, because he could actually use another 5 or 10 yards back there to give him a little more room to let the ball hang in the wind and try to down it.
Very definitely, because he's kicking with the wind. It's going to be hard to hold it back and hope that the lineman can down it inside the 10-yard line.
One of the other things about the Michigan kicking game, too, they've got Mike Turkovac back now to do the snapping for the first time in a long time. He is far and away the best snapper on the team. Now that I've said that, he might put it in the end zone. The kick is away, and Virgil's going to knock it all the way in the end zone. So after all that fiddling around, it didn't do any good. He knocks it right on through anyhow on a 40-yard punt, and North Carolina will get the football first down at their own 20. 9:26 to go in the first quarter, and there's no score.
Are you
A look down onto the Gator Bowl, and that's the brand new Goodyear Blimp Enterprise out of Pompano Beach with Captain Patrick Henry. Love that name, Patrick Henry. Way to go, Patrick. Pretty picture. Cameraman up there with him is Charlie Mitchell, and here we go, North Carolina at the 20-yard line. No score. Kupak turns, gives to Lawrence, comes over the left side. He's got a lot of daylight, and he's got a lot of real estate under his feet as he comes all the way out to the 33 before Michael Harden brings him down. I got a feeling there's been so much talk about the fact that everybody thought if Michigan won the game, their big guys up front in the trenches might make the difference. And the way those North Carolina youngsters are popping off that snap of the ball looks to me like they got the message.
Very definitely.
First down for the Tar Heels, and Kupak wants to put it up. He throws the short pattern to Lawrence. Lawrence jukes on the sidelines and has his feet taken from under him by Needham as he moves it out to about the 42.
North Carolina used a no-huddle play, trying to catch Michigan without the proper defense, moved in the double wing, completed the pass to Lawrence. I think we can look in this ball game for North Carolina running over the left side of the offensive line simply because Ron Wooten, 260-pound left guard, and Steve Junkman, 260-pound left tackle, both outstanding players.
And I think having Ferris back healthy, too, has given him a little more speed at the outside receiver position.
All Ferris did was catch 4 touchdown passes in the first 4 games, 1 each game.
Then he got hurt.
Blazing speed.
They used the chain to mark it very carefully. As you can see, it was just short. The North Carolina versus Michigan offense and defense, you can see the average there. The Carolina averaging 4 per play. Michigan allowing only 2.5 per play. Ball is just beyond the 42 of Carolina. And Tar Heels have second down and inches for the first down. Let's see if he goes big with this one. Throwing into a brisk wind, if he puts it up. He's rolling out with it. Pulls it down and goes to the ground. And he's got big yardage. Kupak runs it to the Michigan 43. First down, Carolina, gain of 16. Ben Needham was back there chasing him, chased him out of the pocket. Then he took off for Mel Owens. And Mark Freeman brought him down.
Kupak is like having a coach on the field. He's been out there. He's a winner. He made a wise decision. He did not force the ball on a play-action pass and made a big gain scrambling up the middle.
First down, Tar Heels in white. 8.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Lawrence goes in motion. Kupak puts that short pattern to work again. And the pass is complete for about 8 yards as Mike Chatham, a 205-pound junior out of Elkin, North Carolina, makes the catch. And here's another guy that's a money man when the ball's in the air.
Mike Chatham, number 88, is a walk-on tight end. He earned a scholarship, did not play into the 4th game, and caught 8 touchdown passes. He's their leading receiver, 29 receptions, great hands, one that Kupak will look for on short yardage.
Second down and about 2. Kupak now 4 out of 6 for 52 yards. Gives the ball to Pascal. Pascal breaks a couple of handholds at the line of scrimmage. Jams it inside the Michigan 30. First down, North Carolina at the 29.
Good call by Kupak, going right up the middle on the quick trap. Every play previously had been outside or a pass. Keep those defensive guards and tackles honest. Good game by Pascal.
That's Tucker in motion. Kupak's pass in the air to Lawrence. And Lawrence is hit right about the line of scrimmage and brought down by Mike Jolly and Andy Canavino.
There was a flood pattern into the left flat. Well defensed by Michigan. Mike Jolly is an outstanding football player. All conference Big Ten 2 years, 78 and 79.
Gray to the near side. Double wide to the top of the picture. Kupak gives the ball off to the tailback, Amos Lawrence. Lawrence over the right side, caught by 83 Needham and 95 Greer. Gained a couple of yards on it, bring up 3rd and long for North Carolina.
Normally in this situation, Bo Schembechler's team usually blitz and play man for man in the secondary to try to throw quarterback for a loss. Doesn't have to worry about depth this close to the end zone.
All right, they've sent Shelton Robinson in, taking Chatham out. Robinson, the better blocker of the tight ends. Ball given to Lawrence, trying to go to the outside. He breaks it, gets the first down. Now that shows me some confidence by Dick Crump.
Outstanding call. The play selection of running on long yardage is really a surprise element because Michigan evidently was trying to rush their tackle. Greer slanted to the inside, and Sheldon Robinson, number 38, the tight end, made an outstanding block on Needham, number 83. Lawrence makes a key run, big first down. Here is Sheldon Robinson, number 38. Now, Ben Needham, number 83, is an outstanding football player, but he locks on to him, and he made the block successfully.
At the 15, first down, Kupek trying to throw, gets it off to the sidelines and throws it out of bounds, intended for Pascal. Pressure that time was coming from Turgaback, number 77, a junior from Austintown, Ohio. There's Amos Lawrence, number 20, who's out of there right now at the tailback position for North Carolina. And in his stead, it should be Bryant, Kelvin Bryant.
When Lawrence was healthy, North Carolina had a dominant football team. They could score, as they showed against South Carolina and Pittsburgh, two outstanding teams.
Lawrence is back in there now at tailback. First time we've seen this formation. Now they send the fullback in motion, pitch it to Lawrence, and Lawrence trying to get around the corner. Not going to do it this time. Coming up out of the secondary, Mike Jolly brings him down, and there is a loss on that one back to around the 18-yard line. 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. North Carolina's been putting away a lot of real estate, gaining a lot of yards here in the first quarter, but we have no score in the game.
And they're doing it at an opportune time going into the wind, keeping the ball away from Michigan in this first quarter.
Chatham is back in, number 88. Lawrence is going out wide to the right. They've got three wide receivers now out there at the top of the picture. Kupek hands the ball off inside to his fullback, Doug Pascal. And Pascal gets it back down to about the 15-yard line where they started from. And that's going to bring up fourth down. It's going to bring Jeff Hayes back into the ball game. And Hayes this time will be setting up the field goal. He's going to put his tee down out near the 22-yard line for a 32-yard try. And in that distance, he was 0 for 1 during the regular season. He missed one a while ago. Hooked it off to the left side, kicking it from a greater distance, 10 yards longer. Takes a real sharp angle into the ball, gets it up, got enough leg. Up. Missed it off to the right side this time. So he's unable to get the ball in between the goalposts. Kicking into the wind, and he misses from 32 yards. 4:39 to go first quarter. No score between North Carolina and Michigan.
I didn't always fly my own plane home from the tour.
Arnold Palmer, back again in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
I had to do a lot of driving on a lot of roads in my early years as a pro, so I didn't need car troubles. Well, I just remembered what I had learned from my dad about Pennzoil. And you know, since then, Pennzoil and I have been down a lot of roads together.
Pennzoil, America's ask-for motor oil.
North Carolina missing the field goal. Michigan has it back at the 20. First down for the Wolverines. Smith, the fullback, Woolfolk, the tailback, Wangler, the quarterback, Clayton, the wide receiver. And Wangler pitches to Woolfolk. And bunches up to the 24, where he goes down under a pile of white. North Carolina has Donnell Thompson, Bob Duncan, and John Burgos as the down linemen, using the same sort of a defensive set as Michigan. Calvin Daniels, Lawrence Taylor, Darrell Nicholson, and Buddy Curry, the linebackers, and they're all good ones. Defensive secondary, Larry Winters, David Singleton, Ricky Barton, all conference, and Steve Streeter. And it was Streeter who tripped up Anthony Carter when it looked like he was going to go for 6. Wangler's pass wobbles out there, caught by Marsh on the sideline. Was he in or out? He was in. It's good at the 45.
That was an outstanding throw, right on the money, just inside the boundary. Fake-off tackle play, throws the linebacker, Marsh, the tight end, the leading receiver. Both tight ends for the two squads are leading receivers. You can see him catch it, keep his left foot inbounds, legal catch.
21 yards on the pickup. First down at the 45. Wangler 3 for 3, 86 yards in the ball game with 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. John turns, hands to the tailback, Woolfolk. Straight up the middle he goes, and he's close to midfield. So that'll be close to 5 yards on that carry. Lawrence Reed, the Michigan fullback, who is a very good blocker for them out of this formation, injured and not able to play in this ball game. Bo Schembechler experimented some with Stanley Edwards, the other tailback, but was not satisfied with his progress, and there's a great deal of difference between playing fullback and tailback.
One is blocking on practically every down, the other carrying the ball.
Second down, call it 6 at the Michigan 49. Woolfolk's got it, finds a hole in the middle and goes for the first down. At the Carolina 44-yard line, John Brugos brought him down, number 90 out of Blackstone, Virginia, a junior. Coming up on New Year's afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern time from the Superdome in New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl game between Arkansas and Alabama. Arkansas with a 10-1 record, ranked number 7 in the country, going against Alabama, 11-0, and Alabama ranked number 1 in the country by United Press International poll. First down, Michigan at the Carolina 44. This time Smith, Roosevelt Smith, the fullback, is inside the 40. So they're getting pretty good bite on that first play.
I think one of the reasons could be North Carolina's defensive linebackers are more pronounced in depth than any I've seen this year. They are good 5 yards deep. Both tackles are flexed off the ball 2 yards, which leaves them a little bit vulnerable straight ahead plays.
Or could it be the Michigan offensive line sort of asserting itself at this point? Time will tell us whether that will happen. The tailback, Woolfolk. This time he takes a pretty good jolt. Coming up to make the hit is Darrell Nicholson, number 29. He's the man that really bent him back, dunking that hold of him from the bottom.
On the carry,
Ball is at the North Carolina 37, where it is third and a little more than 2 yards. They've got to go inside the 35 to get the first down. Clock is running at 2:15 to go in the first quarter. It's about 50 degrees now here in Jacksonville, but the wind makes it a little colder. Wangler will put it up, throws it short to Carter. Carter can't handle it. Incomplete. Ricky Barton, the safety, was blitzing on the play, and he was right in Wangler's pocket. John was looking to get the ball to Carter.
Ricky Barton is twice all Atlantic Coast Conference strong safety. Blitzes a lot. In fact, he had 4 quarterback sacks during the regular season. A little bit of an unusual call for Michigan on 3rd and 2. Screen pass.
It is 4th. They've got to give it up. Barton, number 11, is deep. No, sir. They snap it short. And the fullback Smith is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he didn't make it. And it was number 99 firing in there to make the hit. Or 98, I guess it was. Lawrence Taylor, the outside linebacker that came boring in to get Smith. Timeout, no score, first quarter. North Carolina stops Michigan. Bo went to his bag of tricks, and it didn't pay off. And Carolina has the ball just outside their own 36. First down. Ball is given off to the fullback, Pascal. And Pascal is out near the 40. Let's go back to Bo's first trick of the ball game as he snapped it short out of punt formation to Smith and watch Taylor come from the outside.
4th and 2. Good blocking, except an outstanding play by number 98, Lawrence Taylor. He is a great football player.
Kupak on a straight drop. Goes over the middle to Amos Lawrence, and the tailback is across midfield and to a first down at about the Michigan 49-yard line. Gain of 12 on the play, Curtis Greer. Flowing with the play makes the stop.
Throwing on first down is good strategy against Michigan because they commit most of their people against the run, trying to give you a loss of no yardage. Kupak just shows good poise, hits a delayed route. Amos Lawrence, outstanding runner, really makes a good run after the play. Greer, 95, brings it down.
First down at the Michigan 49-yard line. They've got Pascal in motion this time. Pitch it inside to Lawrence. And Amos fumbles as he goes down. They're going to call him down right there, I think. Nope, they call it a fumble. I saw him throw his beanbag upfield where Lawrence was down. But they have called it fumble, and Michigan covers it. Michael Harden, number 4.
Let's watch it again. It's a quick flip to Lawrence, who's just an outstanding runner. He turns up in behind the pulling guards and gets stripped of the ball by Jolly, number 16. Finally, Harden comes in and recovers it.
That's a good call. He did fumble it. And so there's your turnover for the first quarter with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go, and Michigan comes up at their own 38-yard line with no score. Smith and Woolfolk are the deep people. Wangler gives it to the tailback, Woolfolk. He runs it right up the middle. And he runs into Brugos and Buddy Curry.
Was up tackle by Lancaster.
Coaches have confirmed for years that we offensively stop ourselves more often than defense. In this ball game tonight, 2 good drives by North Carolina. They came away empty-headed and then fumbled on their 3rd possession.
And again, Michigan gets good yardage on first down. It'll be 2nd down 4. Out near the 44. Wangler wants to put it up. Hums one to Clayton. Oh, he's may go. He's inside the 10. They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal to go, Michigan. Buddy Curry finally got enough of him to push him out. But the guy that really did a job for him was the tailback Woolfolk. He almost put him in the end zone.
One of the great patterns in football is a tight end crossing, pulling the linebacker out of the middle, opening up the curl to Clayton. Exactly what happened. And then you watch Ralph Clayton, one of the outstanding football players in Michigan, makes a great play.
Gain of 50. Ball is just beyond the Carolina, outside if you like, the Carolina 6. 1st and goal to go for Michigan. The first real serious threat of the ball game by either team. And Wangler stands up at the line of scrimmage, looks up into that end zone, sees all that Columbia blue and pom-poms and says, I can't hear.
And he has the right to have his signals heard. The referee must give him that opportunity.
But Clint Fuller, you know, Arkansas in there, he's going to walk over and say, son, we'll do it this time, but the sooner you can get the play off, the better you're going to be, because you're not, the next time you come to the line of scrimmage, you know they're going to jump up and down and yell again.
We had a game stopped one time at Texas A&M for 8 minutes.
The score on the first down and be done with it. Put it in the end zone, it'll get quiet. Woolfolk. Yeah, maybe the 5. Curry, 57, a linebacker, stepped up in the hole. Down on the bottom is Thompson, and the inside linebacker, Nicholson, and the first quarter is over. So after 1, no score, but Michigan is threatening as we look ahead to the second quarter. It's 2nd down and goal to go, Michigan, as we start the second quarter of play at the North Carolina 6-yard line. Anthony Carter in motion. The pitch to the tailback. Woolfolk cuts it back into the middle, and he gets it to the 4, inside the 4, before John Brugos, number 90, and number 29, Darrell Nicholson, bring him down. That 29's been in on a lot of plays at that inside linebacker position so far.
On the carry, Woolfolk. Tackled by Nicholson.
Darrell Nicholson is just a sophomore. He's the 2nd leading tackler, 147 involvements, and they're running away from Buddy Curry, the all-conference.
All right, Michigan now with a new alignment. They've got 3 wide receivers in there, 1 lone remaining back. Woolfolk is out of the ball game. Wangler rolls out, throws for Carter, and he can't get it. And there was a good defensive play over there for North Carolina by Larry Winters. Winters saved the touchdown.
Larry Winters is a freshman. He was out of position, but makes a great effort to prevent the touchdown pass to Carter. He's covering the inside man. Watch him dive in front. A sensational play to prevent the touchdown.
Well, the quarterback had been better off that time, Frank, to put it up over his head, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would have. He just was a little bit too careful with it.
20-yard field goal effort by Brian Virgil. Got it. So the Michigan kicking game, which has been so maligned all season, pays off here early as Michigan breaks on top 3-0 over North Carolina early in the second quarter.
I'm Big Daddy Don Garlits, and I have $100,000 invested in my car. And I have confidence in the Kendall oil I use.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm Dave Woods, and I have 6,000 hard-earned bucks in this car. You know what oil I use? Kendall. Not because he likes Kendall, but because I like Kendall. Helps keep my engine running clean and purring like a kitten. So maybe it's not a $100,000 race car, but I treat her like one.
Protect your with Kendall Confidence.
Virgil kicks off for Michigan. The Wolverines leading 3-0. Lawrence takes it up around the 7-yard line, pops it up the middle, and almost popped out of there with it. But the Wolverines get him up around the 26-yard line, maybe the 27, with Michael Harton making the stop. The numbers for the first quarter of play look like this.
First downs, North Carolina leads 7-4. Rushing, they lead. Passing, they're behind because of 2 long passes. One to Anthony Carter for 49 yards, one 50 yards to Clayton. One turnover by North Carolina, setting up the touchdown drive, the field goal drive.
Ferris comes wide to the right side for Carolina, operating now for the first time with the wind at their back. Kupak stands up and hums a bullet. The pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for John Richardson, number 19. Here's Dave Dow.
Keith, you know, it's a curiosity that Michigan has so many yards passing because for years Michigan and Ohio State and the other Big Ten teams have more or less disdained the pass, and they have been beaten badly. They used to talk about the threat of a pass, and now they have to pass.
And Amos Lawrence, the tailback, trying to get outside with it on 2nd down and 10. Picks up a pretty good chunk of yardage, better part of 7. He's quick, isn't he?
Yes, he is quick. He can explode through. Bo Schembechler told me that he is a dazzling runner. Can dance right through any small opening.
Wayne Tucker is wide to the right this time. 3rd down, about 2.5. They've got Pascal in motion. They pitch it to Lawrence. He's got the first down. And he comes all the way up across the 40-yard line. Pascal, the fullback, with a big block, and Jolly the tackle. And Lawrence now on 9 carries has 50 yards in the ball game.
He's made some good cuts. He's had good blocking, particularly by the tight end, Sheldon Robinson. But on that particular play, it was all on his natural ability.
Stu Harris is in there now at a defensive back position for Michigan as Kupak rolls it out. Turns it back upfield, and this time he gets caught by Dale Kites, number 55. The tackle drifting on the play. And Kites staying home, got his man for a loss. Loss from the 41 back to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 12. 2 football teams look very much alike. Of course, there's a reason for it, isn't there?
Yes. Crum kind of cut his teeth on Bo Schembechler's coaching at the University of Miami.
That's right. That's Kelvin Bryant at tailback. He started left, cut it back into the middle, gets up just over the 40 before Turgeback locks his legs.
Michigan's style of defense has been just outstanding. In fact, for the 5 years before 1979, they were first in rushing defense, first in scoring defense, and first in total defense of major college football.
Now they've got 3rd down and 10, and they put in 5 defensive backs, or if you like, the nickel defense. And Kupak running around is going to be dropped by Needham. Number 83 jumped right on top of him and sacks the quarterback. And so they'll have to unload it with a punt now at 11:50 to go in the first half.
On long yardage, 3rd and long, it's difficult on a quarterback. Michigan deployed into defend defense, and 83 Neiman and Kreitz 55 put a good rush and tackled him for a loss.
Boy, there's a howitzer. Carter's going to play with it. Came back from the 4 out to the 14. It was a 57-yard punt. 57 by Steve Streeter.
And a piling on penalty.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Tough
Penalty
break.
flag back there at where the ball was down at 14.
Really a tough break. It was a very close call. The referee, the back judge, threw that flag.
Oh, they called it on Michigan.
I didn't see the flip.
I didn't either.
Let's see if we can detect the penalty. I thought he called right there, piling on, and I believe the referee is confused. They all are confused. Now they're talking it over. And we'll get the penalty against North Carolina, I believe.
Personal foul, Carolina, piling on. That's what it is. Now we got it right.
Foul against Carolina.
Well, that's a tough break after the sensational punt. Had Michigan in the hole.
Well, that's Streeter hit a dandy. That's Steve, brother of Jimmy, the Tennessee quarterback.
And an outstanding free safety along with his putting.
Ball is at the 29 of Michigan now. First down after the penalty. Going into the wind. Woolfolk. Hey, they're not going to get a whole lot on that particular series of plays because that Carolina bunch just rearing up and stopping it.
Good pursuit. Good pursuit.
Harry Stanback involved. He's out of Rockingham, North Carolina, along with Paul Davis of the second unit in there. ABC's Wide World of Sports this Saturday. Second down and 8. Wangler rolling it out, looking to throw it. Has a man wide open over there. The pass is complete. Knees down up around the 45-yard line. Norm Betts, tight end, a sophomore out of Midland, Michigan. And that is good for a first down.
John Wangler didn't start for the last 4 games of the season because of an injury to Dickey, but he still passed for 1,228 yards. This is a bootleg, throwing to the tight end, trailing across. Norm Betts, who's a pre-dental student, all A's, and the lowest grade he had is -A in calculus. Is that right? Yeah. A-. I
don't even want to talk to him. Fullback Smith. Couple of yards. See who that big old, that's Brugos, number 90. Getting up way down in the bottom of it, along with Stanback, 94.
I would just like to say that dispel people's opinion that Michigan is not a passing football team. They passed for over 1,700 yards this year. With Ricky Leach, they had a good mixture between passing and running.
On second down and 8, Anthony Carter is way wide to the left or the open side of the field. Wangler getting some heat. Gets it off. Carter's got it. Penalty flag down. Carter's on his way. Nobody to catch him. There's a penalty flag way back upfield at the 40-yard line, and a North Carolina player is down. Carter's in the end zone. Hold on to everything. Number 48, Larry Winters, is the man down. The play covered 53 yards. Let's wait and see. It's going to be called pass interference, and it's against Carolina, and the signal is touchdown.
One of the things that you can't do against the youngster with the speed of Carter is play man for man. And you will see the rush coming from the outside. Barton was putting on a safety blitz, and the quarterback could not cover Anthony Carter.
Let's take a look at the isolated replay now and see if we can pick up the foul.
You can see Winters grabs him. He's a freshman, and he was just caught out of position playing man for man.
And the reason Winters got hurt is one of his own people ran into him and decked him.
Yes,
right here, Carter is long gone.
Carter has blazing speed, as we saw in the first play of Michigan's offense.
So the penalty flag took a little bit of the drama out of it, I guess. But nonetheless, there's a touchdown on the board. Wangler now 6 out of 8 for 203 yards and a touchdown, and Virgil is in to try the extra point. Looked to me like Clint Fuller gave us an unsportsmanlike call there too, didn't he?
He may have for grabbing the receiver after he had passed it to try to prevent the touchdown. That's what he looked like Winters did to me. He reached out and grabbed Carter to try to hold him.
Whatever. Virgil is going for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. With 9:47 to go in the first half, Michigan leads North Carolina 9-0. We're looking down from the Enterprise, the brand new Goodyear blimp that replaces the Mayflower, which was deflated during a thunderstorm in Iowa back in July of this year. Penalty against Michigan for unsportsmanlike conduct. So the Wolverines kick off from the 25 and proceed to kick it out of bounds. Kelvin Bryant was down there looking at it, and that'll back him up another 5. And right now, if you want some definition on the unsportsmanlike call, let's get it from Dave Dye.
Okay, I just talked with the official, Keith, and he says the reason for the penalty was unsportsmanlike conduct, as you said, for taunting an opponent. Officials are cracking down on that all across the country, and that's the reason for the 15-yard penalty. Now
Good.
back upstairs.
Thank you.
I congratulate the call because I think one of the worst things that's come into college football recently is the inciting taunting of an opposing player after you've made an outstanding play or a touchdown. They should be penalized.
Now the ball is back at the 20. Virgil kicking into the wind. North Carolina should get this football up around the 35 or 40. Well, that's a pretty good kick. Bryant, all the way back at the 18. 35, 40, 41. Well, I called it about right. Let's go back to the extra point try, the one that slid just to the right.
Timing is all important on an extra point. You have to get a good snap. The ball is low. It takes a fraction of a second longer for the holder to put the ball on the tee, and it's a bad kick off to the right.
And it's 9-0 Michigan with 9:39 to go in the first half. North Carolina with a football, first down at their own 41. Tucker in motion. Slaps his quarterback on the fan edge. He passes by, and Turgerback's got Kupak. Mike Turgerback, the middle guard for Michigan. Almost untouched.
The nose guard can just play havoc on passes if he runs around the center. You can see Turgerback runs a weak side of the center, but has the speed and the quickness to catch Kupak for a loss. Just an outstanding play by all Big Ten nose guards.
A loss of 7 yards back to the 34-yard line with 9:10 to go in the first half. Second down and 17 for Carolina. Kupak hands off to Lawrence. Lawrence going to the outside, missed by Owens, but Mel did force him wide enough to get him out of bounds before he really burned him, because he did have a little daylight over there.
Leaving that touchdown pass to Anthony Carter took a lot of the spark out of this offensive football team of North Carolina, and certainly has fired up the Michigan defensive unit.
Third down and 17. Tucker wide to the open side of the field. Kupak straight back. Whoa, he throws it. Pass is caught. I don't know how in the world he really got rid of it. Turgerback was riding him, and he threw a bullet to Mike Chatham, but it's far short of the first down, and so they'll have to punt.
Turgerback is a three-man rush, and the reason that Kupak is nearly caught for a loss, the receivers are all covered. He has to scramble. Makes a great throw to keep getting the loss.
Streeter's in to punt. Carter's deep to receive. Kicks in the air. It's a high knuckler, and forcing Anthony to call fair catch back at the 12-yard line for Michigan. And the clock stops there at 8:22 to go. A 40-yard punt for Streeter. Michigan leads North Carolina 9-0.
My brother is
number 57, huh?
And he's a good player.
All right. From the 12, goes to Wofolk. Butch trying to turn it upfield. And the Tar Heels swarm on him after a couple of yards up to about the 14. Donnell Thompson right there again out of Lumberton, North Carolina. Seems to me there was a fellow that used to hit a golf ball pretty well from Lumberton, North Carolina.
Would that have been Billy Patton?
That would be exactly who it'd be.
Look at the passing story for tonight. 203 yards on 6 out of 8 completions. 3 big ones, 53, 50, and 47 yards. 150 of the 203 and on 3 passes.
Now gained 28 yards on the ground, though. That's almost as surprising as the passing total. Wangler, great play. Oh, my goodness, that's a fine play by Lawrence Taylor, and it's the second big play in the game Lawrence has made, junior out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Oh, that's a heck of a play.
Lawrence Taylor has had an outstanding year. He is a brutal hitter, as you will see here. His coaches say he caused 7 fumbles by hits this season. Plays defensive end and was coming on the snap of the ball. The bootleg pass had no chance to
Worse than that for Michigan, Frank, is that Wangler is down on the field. And the grimace on Bo Schembechler's face is very real.
Well, as we said earlier, this is a must game for Bo. He's lost 6 consecutive bowl games. He feels that he must win this game to get back in the image of having a chance to be in the Rose Bowl picture next year.
B.J. Dickey is healthy, was in the warm-up, is listed number 2, is ready to play. He's a little different kind of a quarterback. They are holding the right knee. They peeled the pant back. They've got the knee up in the air, and that looks like nothing but bad news to me.
John
Wangler in the ball game, 6 of 8 in passing for a touchdown, 203 yards. Been sacked twice for a minus 22 yards. Now B.J. Dickey will be warming up, and there's great concern on the Michigan side of the field.
Let's see if we can detect what caused the injury. Taylor, number 98, is making the play. He reaches out and grabs the leg. Actually, Wangler just falls. Now, there's the twist. He actually Taylor twisted his legs a little bit, didn't you think?
Yep, looked like it. Sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot, though, to tear up a knee if you just get hit in exactly the right place at the right time and get the right tension. At the wrong time, you're gone.
Coaches are fearful of knee injuries. It's such a delicate, fragile part of the body.
Well, Dickey will get the call now at quarterback. Rich Hewlett, who started at quarterback for Michigan against Ohio State in the final game, has been hurt. And I don't believe he's capable of playing in this game tonight.
Quickly, let's take another look. Let's see if we can detect exactly what caused the...
Yeah, he had a hold of it, and as they rolled over, the leg twisted. And looks to me like that's what caused the damage.
That is.
And he's going right to the locker room.
That's sad. What a great game this young man was having.
And
Look,
it hurts.
6 out of 8, 203 yards, 1 touchdown. It's just been sensational in this first quarter and a half. Dickey is an option runner. Doesn't throw as much as Wangler, but does run the option play.
They need a stretcher because I don't think John can...
Wangler has another year. I think he was given a hardship ruling, and he plans to come back and play next fall for the Michigan Wolverines.
All right, we've still got time out for the injured player, and while we are waiting, you're watching the Gator Bowl, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
Your station for the 80s.
All right, Jim Pashoric would be your backup quarterback now for Michigan. As B.J. Dickey comes into the ball game, and B.J., as Frank said, more of an option-type quarterback, and he was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, had a rather decent day against Notre Dame in the opening ball game. The game lost by Michigan to 4 field goals by Chuck Mayo. There's Big Art Besnick, the offensive guard and captain of Michigan.
Story on Dickey, 37 out of 73, 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Pashoric is a sophomore. He's backing up B.J. Dickey now. The football is back at the 3-yard line, and the pass good to Carter. And Carter is up to about the original line of scrimmage, up to around the 12, 13-yard line. So Dickey throws it right off the goal line.
One of the toughest passes to defend is the slant-in pass. The ball has to be perfectly timed between the linebacker and inside of the cornerback. Good execution and a big 10 yards. It got him out of away from the 2-yard line.
Steve Streeter brought him down. Now Virgil has got to punt from the goal line area, and Carolina's got 10 people up on the line. Now they peel off a little bit. He gets the kick away, not a very long kick. It is taken by Barton. And he is dropped back at the 42-yard line of Michigan, and he was hit right on the numbers by Mike Turgeback coming down after the snap. Into the win, it was a 29-yard punt. Time is out. We'll be back.
There are 2 tough sides to every Chevy fleet side pickup. The outside and the inside. That's right. You get the toughness and rigidity of Chevy's double wall construction in these critical areas. In the hood, in the fenders, and in the doors. Plus, double wall construction in the box sides and in the tailgate. Chevy truck, the tough truck that's still a tough truck.
Chevy trucks, built to stay tough.
Honey, I'm home.
We've been robbed! Hello, Prudential? Yeah, Prudential. I know, renter's insurance. Remember, we have a piece of the rock for our apartment.
Prudential Renters Insurance. One call and Prudential starts working for you.
We're covered? Thanks, Prudential.
For renters insurance, too.
Get a piece of the rock.
Prudential Insurance.
Honey, why didn't you call?
On ABC's Wide World of Sports, the personalities and events that changed the face of athletic competition. A memorable tour of the 70s tomorrow.
North Carolina now with the ball at the Michigan 42-yard line. Give it to Amos Lawrence. To the outside he goes. And he gets away from Jolly. And he gets around the corner for the better part of 10 yards. Harden finally shoved him out. But he just burned Mike Jolly, number 16 over there, just flat ran away from him.
And Mike Jolly happens to be an all-Big Ten performer in 78 and 79. Just an outstanding defensive player. But little Amos Lawrence step-armed him.
Yes,
and
sure did.
pushed him to the ground.
Breaking him up. 6:31 to go, first half. Michigan leading 9-0 in Carolina, trying to stick it in the end zone. First down at the Michigan 32-yard line. Michigan has lost its starting quarterback Wangler to a knee injury. Two-back pass. Little short thing whipped to the sidelines to Lawrence. Lawrence is bumped out of bounds by Mark Freeman. This was the scene a few minutes ago as John Wangler was taken from the field on a stretcher as a result of a knee injury when he was sacked. And it was one of those things where he just got twisted the wrong way. The ball is at the Michigan 28-yard line. Second down and 6 for North Carolina. Kubek with the wind at his back. Going to put it in the air. Throws to the sideline. The pass is caught by Tucker inside the 20.
On this particular play, North Carolina shifted their tight end, and they ended up with one-on-one coverage out to the flanker, Tucker, and you can see that Kubek had to throw very quickly, took advantage of the one-on-one coverage, and a big completion.
It's a first down. They put it right at the 20. Fullback Pascal. Fumble. Falls down on it. Harden covers him. Gain is to the 13. Ball came squirting out of there.
Pascal has had an outstanding year as fullback and part-time tailback. He's second in rushing and also second in receiving. 24 receptions.
Well, I think he's a good football player.
He's a coach's type player. He can block, he can do everything. Just a complete player.
Second down, 3. Kubek wanting to throw it. Loops it into the end zone. Incomplete. The pass intended for Phil Ferris. Boy, he had him open.
On the goal line, you'll see Ferris break inside. The defense not having to cover depth, come up, and then Ferris runs right by him. The ball's a little high, but should have been caught. I believe it went right through his hands.
Yeah, but he was just lonesome.
He was lonesome. Busted coverage. They'd gone in for man-to-man coverage this close to the goal line, something that Michigan will do most of the time.
Third down and 3 from the Michigan 13. Look out for Lawrence here. Yep, he's got it. Running behind Pascal. Penalty flag is down. I bet you it's going to be an illegal procedure.
The right side of the offensive line pulling to make their cutoff block. Jump the snap count. Tough penalty.
Jolly down on the play. Shaken there. Number 16 for Michigan.
As I said earlier, don't stop yourself. The one thing that we know has been confirmed, offenses stop themselves more often than the defense does. Here's another example, a penalty on a critical 3rd and 3.
That's the second flag on North Carolina for 20 yards. Michigan hit 4 times for 40. We're having a look here as Mike Jolly is down on the field. This time they don't appear to be fiddling around with one of the limbs.
Mike Jolly has intercepted 10 passes in his career at Michigan, 4 this year. Just an outstanding player, and his loss would be damaging to Michigan.
5 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the first half, and coming up on New Year's Day, one of the big ball games of this season, Arkansas and Alabama. Bear Bryant taking his tight end at the top of the UPI poll. He knows full well a solid win over Arkansas might very well mean another national championship for him. The Rose Bowl game out on the West Coast between two undefeated teams, once tied USC and Ohio State with its perfect record, probably will be the other game that could decide the national championship. Though I can't pass up suggesting that Florida State with an 11-0 record, if they should beat Oklahoma, have got to be right there when the balloting is done too. It could be that we will have another instance of double champions as we had last year, where AP voted Alabama and UPI voted Southern California. Jolly is leaving now, but you can see Mike Wobbly, though he is walking off the field. Brian Carpenter, number 9, has gone in to replace him. Carpenter is a sophomore out of Flint. It is now 3rd down and 8 from the 18 after the penalty. And Kupek rolls it out. Throws it over the middle, and the pass is complete. 1st and goal to go. North Carolina. Jeff Gray, number 80, made the grab.
Michigan once again are playing man for man close to the goal line. And you can see that Gray, number 80, works right inside the linebackers. He's wide open, and Kupek throws it low. Good catch. Excellent catch on Gray's part.
Gain of 16. Kupek now 10 out of 15 for 95 yards.
North Carolina cannot afford to come away from this threat empty-handed. Twice they've missed field goal.
1st and goal to go from the 2. Pasco. Touchdown.
Just a power play that put Johnson, a 230-pound fullback, in the game and moved Pascal, 212-pound tailback, back to fullback, back to tailback, and he just goes right over the right guard for the touchdown. A very critical, much-needed touchdown for North Carolina.
And we've got another Michigan man on the field. Looks like Turkovac.
That touchdown drive was set up by a penalty to Michigan and a loss on a tipped pass when Wangler was hurt, a poor kick, field position, and 2 great plays by Matt Kupek.
My gosh, you're looking at another knee.
Oh, my. Normally, we don't expect to have many knees on grass, on real turf.
No. That's 42 yards, 7 plays. They used 1 minute and 53 seconds. Turkovac is down. Wangler is out with a knee, carried off on a stretcher. Mike Jolly went wobbling off the field. So that's 3 key Michigan people that have been hurt in this ball game, and we've got 4:46 to go in the first half. At halftime, that's what you'll be watching as we see coaches Holtz and Bryant talking about the Sugar Bowl game New Year's Day, the Chevrolet Coaches of the Year Awards, interviews with both the coaches in tonight's game with Dave Dials, and we'll see quite a bit of both the Michigan and North Carolina bands.
Keith, unfortunately, they're taking the stretcher out, which means another serious injury. But back to the Sugar Bowl, you can believe that the Arkansas people are going to be very happy to be in New Orleans. And one oddity is both schools are U of A, and both are red and white.
Oh, I know it.
It's going to be hard to tell unless we have our hog hats on.
And faithful? You talk about faithful.
Both schools.
Tremendous following for both of them.
I believe.
Bad news right here is that they have got the stretcher out there for Mike Turkovac. The Turkovac and Wangler, the starting middle guard and snapper on kicks, the starting quarterback, and a starting cornerback, all being taken from the field.
Very unfortunate. Turkovac played this year with a broken hand. Bo Schembechler was telling me that he practiced in a cast all week, removed the cast, taped it up, and played nose guard. It's tough enough to be a nose guard with 2 hands.
Yes, sir.
He played all Big Ten.
Matt Kupek did his job. He put the ball game in perspective for Carolina as he took that football after opportunity presented itself. The defense gave him field position, and he stuck at the end zone.
Boy, that's the one thing good quarterbacks do. When they get field position and a chance to score, they, as you mentioned, they stick it in the end zone. That gives you confidence the next time you have the ball. You remember, Keith, we did the Nebraska-North Carolina game in the Liberty Bowl 2 years ago, and Kupek had an outstanding game, although North Carolina lost to Nebraska in the last minute of the game.
Yep. And so Mike Turgeback leaves on a stretcher. And it looks like it is the right knee.
Let's hope that it's not serious.
Well, that's demoralizing, Frank, to get three key people hurt in the first half. I mean, those are three horses that they're out of the ball game.
Three of the best that they have.
Right.
2 all-conference and their quarterback who's been sensational.
All right, here's your try for the extra point now for North Carolina. Trying to make it 7. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Jeff Hayes drills it into the crowd. And at 4:46 to go in the first half, Carolina's very much back in this ball game. With Michigan leading by 2, 9-7. Incidentally, we are beginning the first year of a new 5-year contract between ABC Television Sports and the Gator Bowl Association. George Olson, Tommy Gay, and all of the great people down in Jacksonville, we're delighted to have a new agreement with them. I keep on coming back to Jacksonville every year about this time.
My first bowl appearance as a head coach was right here against Georgia Tech, and the Arkansas people still claim that maybe it was the best bowl trip that we took.
Is that right?
They love Jacksonville.
Well, they have. Folks are friendly. They will wine and dine you. That's for a fact. Dine you especially. You don't gain weight when you come to the Gator Bowl. There's something wrong with it.
I love the seafood here. Well, to recap what's happened, North Carolina has made 3 good drives. Twice they came away empty-handed, missing field goals. This time they took it in for the touchdown. Michigan stopped themselves with a bad call on 3rd down. Got a penalty on the other possession and took it in on their 3rd possession for the touchdown and came back for the field goal and came back for the touchdown on their 4th and 5th possessions.
Anthony Carter is back there with Mike Cade, standing on the goal line for the dark-shirted Wolverines. And Jeff Hayes is going to kick it off for North Carolina with the wind blowing about 20 miles an hour at his back. He's got it up high. And it's Carter at the 1. Anthony had no chance there. They just sawed him down like a fallen log because Cade was behind him. Cade never got up in front of him and helped him out. Alan Burris was down there to cut him down. Here's Dave Dodd.
Reports for Michigan, the 2 knees look very bad. Dr. Gerald O'Connor said he will make a complete examination at halftime, but he doesn't think either player will be back. As far as Greg Jolly, he's shaken up and he could be back.
Okay, Dave, thank you. Oh, I hate to see that. 13-yard line. Stanley Edwards is now at tailback for Michigan. B.J. Dickey, the quarterback. Wolverines lead 9-7. Dickey down the line on the option, turns it upfield. See, that's where he's dangerous, too, you know. It's a totally different look when Dickey's in a ball game. Stanbeck made the tackle for North Carolina.
Michigan very desperately needs to establish some running game because they're not going to be able to throw as effectively. They're likely not going to as well as they did with Wangler.
Clock running, time there. 2-point ball game right now. 2nd down, 5 for Michigan. Ball is at the 18. Dickey still got it. Sticks his head down and dives for the marker, and he's close. Buddy Curry, a 220-pound senior all-conference player out of Danville, Virginia, at the tackle.
Average yards per play, we look at Michigan, 1.1 rushing, 23.4 passing. North Carolina, 4 rushing and 6 passing. About their average during the season.
I sort of wonder if Michigan's going to win the football game if they can't do better than that on the ground.
Well, North Carolina defense is most unusual. 2 flex tackles, a good 2 yards away from the offensive tackle.
Edwards is the fullback. Cade is the tailback now for the Wolverines. Dickey, oh, they almost get him behind the line of scrimmage. He just barely got back there. Lawrence Taylor pretty near planted him back there, way deep in the backfield. In fact, Lawrence was more in the backfield than Stanley Edward was.
That play was the trap option, where they take the fullback up the middle and pull the guard, a delayed option. And, of course, Taylor was coming on the end blitz, and he was. As you said, he nearly took the ball away from Dickey, the quarterback.
All right, it'll be second down. They're going to give B.J. Dickey a yard. Second down and 9 from the 19. Same people set behind him. Going to put it up. Over the middle. Pass is complete. And the pass is caught by the tailback, swinging out of the backfield. Cade, he's a freshman out of Eloy, Arizona.
Cade, the freshman from Arizona, scored, believe it or not, 6 touchdowns in the state championship game, but it's a delayed pattern, something that's safe on your end of the field, something you have a chance to make a first down with after the catch. A good play by North Carolina prevented it.
Ball is marked just beyond the 30. They've got to go 3 more yards to get their first down. They give it to Cade. Penalty flag goes down. Looks like they've got Cade short of the first down. About the 32.
Now it's a little bit of a tough decision for Dick Crum.
Holding Michigan.
4th and 1. I believe they'll take the penalty and move him back and hope that they'll throw the ball and maybe get a turnover. On 3rd and long.
Boy, the Wolverines have had an avalanche of bad luck,
haven't they?
But they're also making a lot of mistakes. 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls against them. Now a holding call offensively backs them way up. They're going into the win. And if there's anything suspect about this Michigan football team, it's what we've talked about a zillion times, and I'm sure the people up in the Michigan area know it more about it than we do, actually. The kicking game.
And they will be kicking into a 25-knot win, as Dave Dow said earlier.
That's a 3rd major penalty, 15 yards against the Wolverines.
Damaging to your chances.
They got to go to the 33 from the 18. They need about 16 yards. Dickey's pass is dropped by Mark. He was hit just as he released the ball by Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor has been involved, would you say, with a lot of big plays. Explosive ability, 95 involvements for this young sophomore, junior. Defensive end, 237 pounds.
There's Barton to receive, Virgil to punt. Carolina's got to get good field position. Ball pops up in the air, Ricky takes it. And instead of letting the ball drift on back into around the 40-yard line, he picks it up, takes a little bit of punishment, but he moves the ball back into Michigan territory to the 48 after a 34-yard punt.
We just have 1 minute and 39 seconds in the second quarter, so Dupek has got to use what we call his 2-minute offense. Call 2 plays in the huddle and then line up and call the play at the line of scrimmage.
Both teams have 3 or all of their timeouts remaining. Well, he puts it on the ground to Lawrence, and Amos runs it right up the pipe and goes for the first down. Clock is stopped as they move the chains. That gives Carolina time to call the play without wasting seconds.
When the defense is playing for a pass, you have a good chance to break right up the middle, and of course, Kites is playing nose guard for the injured Turgeback and got blocked on the play by a very fine son of Donald.
Time called in order to bring the chains on to determine whether or not Amos got the first down. Yep.
Now North Carolina, they're going to start the clock, and they should jump right up at the line of scrimmage and not stay in the huddle 15 seconds, because they will start the clock once the chains are ready. So they're going to waste about 10 or 12 seconds, maybe more. Valuable time.
Jolly has not come back at a defensive back position. Brian Carpenter's in there. He's playing the close sideline. That means he's got to play Ferris. Dupek gives it again to Lawrence. This time Lawrence is hit by Canavino as he penetrates from about the 38 close to the 36.
Now they'll open up and throw. They're wasting a good opportunity if they don't.
Breaking in a hurry. I thought the left side might have moved. They're going deep. Jeff Gray. Pass was too long. Clock stops at 55 seconds to go. Carolina still has to spend a timeout.
3rd and 10, 55 seconds. Good field goal kicker. 3 points would put them in the lead at halftime and give them a lot of momentum.
Third down. Pass thrown short. Caught, but well short of the first down with Chatham making the catch. And now Carolina calls time. 45 seconds to play in the first half. North Carolina looking at 4th and 4. And they will talk. So while they're talking, let me do a little talking about the U.S. Olympic hockey team. We showed you some action from this group of youngsters last Saturday from the Liberty Bowl down in Memphis, Tennessee. At that point in time, they had won 3 successive games at the Invitational Tournament at Lake Placid. They had defeated Sweden, Canada, and Czechoslovakia. These are highlights from their game on Saturday night against the Soviet Union, and they beat the Russians by a score of 5-3. That gave the American hockey team under Herb Brooks of the University of Minnesota a 4-0 record in that international tournament up at Lake Placid. True, those are not the pick of the lot as far as Soviet players are concerned, but they are good ones, and some of them will be playing in the Olympics. And so we're delighted for our young men to make up the U.S. Olympic hockey team. They have some promise of medal at the Olympic Games, which you will see right here on ABC, beginning February 12 from Lake Placid. The Winter Olympics.
North Carolina has elected to go for it on 4th and 4.
Well, they've got 45 seconds to play with. They've got 2 first downs if they can pick up 2 timeouts, rather, if they can pick up the first down here.
They're trying to draw him offside, Chief.
Now he's going to spend the timeout. That leaves him 1. Matthew was trying to tease him, wasn't he?
Yes, he was trying to use his head on the snap count. Well, he probably did not have a timeout. The only way they could get delay of the game was when he called timeout, and they've already used up their 3 timeouts.
No, they've got 1 left, according to...
well, we missed it somehow.
I think what had happened over there, maybe it looked to me like the back judge threw a flag, or the back judge wears the clock, right?
Yes, but he wouldn't accept the timeout called by Kupek. He did not accept the timeout call.
All right, Hayes for 53 yards. He's got it up, but he couldn't squeeze it quite far enough. It is short. And so after all of that drama, North Carolina is turned away empty, and we have 33 seconds remaining in the first half, and Michigan still leading by a score of 9-7.
Keith, I think Dave Dials asked the official, and you cannot call 2 consecutive timeouts. And
you know
so
that?
it was a delay of the penalty.
I mean,
delay of the game.
You have been flagged for that?
No, I have not. I'm not that smart.
Let's see now if the Wolverines just try to run it out. First down, the ball out near their 37. Or whether they'll try to get something going. Dickey turns and hands the ball to Edwards, and Edwards running out of the fullback position is across the 40 to the 41. Darrell Nicholson made the stop. That's Edwards' first carry in the ball game. He has been working at the fullback position because of the injury to Lawrence Reed. And they sorely miss Reed in that backfield. Time is called now by Michigan with 14 seconds to play in the first half. Well, his first half moved along pretty well till we got down to about the 2-minute mark, and since then, it's been rather deliberate. Well, you will see at halftime the Michigan and North Carolina bands. They're both here. Don Canham indicating it cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 to bring the Michigan band down here. And they're going to be out having a bit of a good time themselves at halftime. But I think one of the things you'll want to see will be the Chevrolet Coaches of the Year Awards, and that runs right down through the ranks of all the divisions in the NCAA. That's 1, 1AA, and 2 and 3. And we'll have Lou Holtz and Bear Bryant with some comments about the upcoming Sugar Bowl game to be played at the Superdome in New Orleans, 2 o'clock Eastern Time on January 1. On second down and about 5, with 14 ticks remaining on the clock, let's see if Michigan tries something fancy.
Throw it deep.
Well, they got to throw it into the wind. That's a problem, but Dickey puts it up. And the only person out there anywhere near the ball is the North Carolina defender, Singleton. 1 photographer and 2 policemen.
And 2 prospects. Yeah. No, they better not be. They better not be. That's against the rules.
8 seconds to play in the first half. Well, the wind gusting as it is, if you get a ball up that high, it could move it well off target. Ralph Clayton was drifting down the line here, and there's nowhere near it.
North Carolina missed 2 field goals going into the win, and Michigan won.
Clayton again is to the left, Carter to the right. Dickey gives the ball off to the Cade, the tailback, and that'll do it for the first half of play.
Cade on the
A lot of offense.
So at halftime, Michigan is leading by a score of 9-7, and here's Dave Dials with Coach Schembechler.
This is not the way you planned it.
Well, we have a lot of injuries right now, Dave. Lost our quarterback and middle guard, and I got a guy with mononucleosis, and I got a guy hurting warm up. It's been a rough day.
You kept it a secret for a week or so down here about which quarterback you would start. You have 2 fine quarterbacks. Why the decision to go with Wangler?
Well, we thought we'd throw early on him and loosen him up. And that's the way we wanted to go. Frankly, our offense was going pretty well up until the time he got hurt. So, but that was our decision. We wanted to throw on him.
They need an inspirational talk, so I'll let you go.
Do a little work here.
Okay. Bo Schembechler, the Michigan coach, who has injury problems now. We'll be back with tonight's halftime activities after this commercial message and a word from our local stations.
The computer technology that put Voyager in space puts Voyager on the road. The Voyager radial tire from Kelly Springfield. Computer design tread for all-season traction. Computer design shape that reduces stress. Aramid construction for a smooth ride. The Kelly Voyager radial. We put space technology on the road. Kelly Springfield. We're out to change America's tires.
I see you're buying a long-lasting nasal spray. Why?
It gives me long-lasting relief.
How long?
Well, it says 8 to 10 hours.
Here's Duration nasal spray. How long does it give relief?
It says up to 12 hours. That's some difference.
That's 2 to 4 hours longer. That's because Duration has the longest-lasting nasal decongestant. Now, which one are you going to use?
Why, this one. Duration.
Duration with up to 2 to 4 hours more relief. The proof's on the package.
Sunday.
No.
Don't miss a fun and funny look back at how Mort came to Earth and his adventures with Mindy, Laverne, and the Fonz in a 1-hour special. Then, the big game is Murder for David Jansen at the Superdome.
Sunday.
A TV10 News Brief brought to you by the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Miami.
In the news tonight, family and friends of Arthur McDuffie attend a memorial service while 5 Metro police officers face manslaughter charges in connection with his death. A late tape report from Chuck Dowdle in Pittsburgh on how things are for Sunday's game on News Watch after the game.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. That's the way it should be. I'd like to see the whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola and its life. Have a Coke and a smile.
Happy New Year. Monday with Archie.
Our score at halftime in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Michigan 9, North Carolina 7. The prestige ball game, one that means a great deal to both these teams out of the Big Ten and the ACC or the Atlantic Coast Country. On New Year's Day, the Rose Bowl matches up Ohio State and Southern California. Both those teams are undefeated, USC tied by Stanford. The Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana matches Alabama 11-0 against Arkansas 10-1. And the other undefeated team is Florida State playing Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. So 4 undefeated teams in action on New Year's Day. Certainly different than we've had over the last couple of years. Now, Which team will be the national champion? Goodness knows we can't even begin to think about it until those ball games have been played. But it looks to me like that Alabama and Ohio State and USC, one of those three teams may have the best chance at it. And tonight we're going to take a look at Arkansas, which challenges Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, which you will see here on ABC New Year's afternoon at 2 Eastern Time. And we're going to hear some comments from their respective coaches. That is tonight's Fireman Fun Flashback. And the Fireman Fun Flashback is being brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance, brought to you by an independent agent near you. The Razorbacks quarterback by senior Kevin Scanlon, 66% of his passes this year, had only 6 interceptions and 139 throws. Only 19 total turnovers for Arkansas, a solid football team, and it worries Coach Paul Bryant of Alabama.
Well, first of all, we expect to see probably the best overall kicking game we've seen. They're great in all phases of kicking game. And they're real well balanced. They have great speed, they have a great quarterback offensively, and as the year went on, they got better and better defensively. That part of the year, I think they had great balance. And of course, Lou Holtz is a great coach, and we expect a terrific game. We're excited about it.
The Arkansas running game got some help this year from a couple of freshmen. Gary Anderson here averaging just about 6 yards per carry. Darrell Bowles is another young freshman who runs very well. Alabama led by quarterback Stedman Shealy. He's a senior, and he led the team in rushing as well as passing. Lou Holtz, the coach of Arkansas, says this about Alabama.
There are 2 things that really concern me against University of Alabama. Number 1 is getting the ball away from their offense. They control the football 37 minutes of the game, and they have 9 seniors on offense. I believe we'll be starting 5 freshmen on defense and 3 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 1 senior. So with their experienced offensive line, the strength of their offense, I'm concerned about getting the ball away from them. Then once we get the ball away from them, we're really concerned what we're going to do with it. It's like a dog chasing a car. I often wonder what he'd do if he ever caught it. And, when we get the ball, I'm not sure what we'll do, because defensively, they're number 1 in the country against the score, number 1 against the pass, number 1 total defense, and number 3 against the rush. And nobody's been able to move the football more than 249 yards maximum amount that they've ever gotten up during the course of the game. So our problems are getting the ball, and then after we get it, what we're going to do with it.
The Alabama defense is for a fact impressive, especially the linebackers Randy Scott intercepting here and young Thomas Boyd. Arkansas and Alabama in the Sugar Bowl New Year's Day here on ABC, and a national championship could be on the line in this game.
For business insurance, Fireman's Fund fits most everyone, large or small. For example, it helps cover a business as huge as Ralston Purina, or as small as Beckman Turf and Irrigation, Anheuser-Busch, or Fantas's Restaurant, even the Chicago Cubs. So for your business insurance, ask your independent agent about Fireman's Fund. Large or small, this hat is just your size. Yellow Pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
Performed at halftime.
Thank you, Keith. This is the 230-member Marching Tar Heel Band under the direction of Major John F. Yesulitis. And while we were away, we heard a tribute to the famed Spanish conquistadors. And I'm told now that this is the popular disco song, Last Dance. But Keith, as you know, if Willie didn't record it, I don't know it. The Marching Tar Heel Band boasts that it is the pride of the ACC. And, of course, the Michigan fans will argue that the University of Michigan Marching Band, which we'll be seeing and hearing, is the pride not only of the Big Ten, but perhaps the whole country, because Michigan has long had a fine band. And this one is a good one, too. So let's listen. All right, let's not listen. They're going to go into something now that's more of my generation. The sound of the big band era with Opus 1, famed Tommy Dorsey. The marching Tar Heel Band from the University of North Carolina, 230 members. And this is the one they all love. You'll see the blue and white flags and pom-poms going now. This is I'm a Tar Heel Born. Every member of the Tar Heel Band has a little Tar Heel tattooed, temporarily I'm sure, to his or her cheek. Coming onto the field now, the University of Michigan Marching Band. The 35th annual Gator Bowl between Michigan and North Carolina is being brought to you by Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. By Fram, makers of oil, air, and fuel filters, windshield wipers, and Autolite spark plugs. And by U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. The Michigan Band, 225 members strong, under the direction of Glenn Richter in his first year. The people who have been packing Michigan Stadium and once again leading the nation in college football attendance for the umpteenth consecutive year have detected no difference at all in the quality of the band's performance, even though to many of the Michigan diehards an 8-3 record in the regular season is a considerable drop-off in football. This is music from Broadway to ballet. This is My Favorite Things. Drum major of the Michigan Band is Guy Bordeaux. The twirlers are Yvonne Goyer, Laurel Lewis, Lynn McGow, and Susie Mikolajewski. They tell me this is a masterpiece of French music. Maurice Ravel's Bolero. One of the unique things about the University of Michigan Marching Band, not only its great tradition of music, but it's a very democratic band. The members of the band grade each other on their performance. Maybe that's why the Michigan Band has been so good for so very long. something coming up that lots of us understand. This is from the American Classic Rodeo, and I'm told we're being invited to a hoedown. So I want to feel right at home. Michigan marching band, one of the very best. We're going to be back with the start of the second half of the Gator Bowl after this commercial message and a word from our local stations. Dick Crum, the head coach at North Carolina. I think Michigan's a little surprised by your effort.
Well, I'll tell you, we're capable of playing like this all the time, and we've played a lot of football like this, Dave.
Did you think coming in that maybe Michigan didn't have a whole lot of respect for North Carolina, as maybe Ohio State did not for Clemson last season?
I think the newspapers had indicated that pretty heavily.
What did you do that surprised them? I know you expected Michigan to pass. Even though Michigan passed successfully, it still didn't surprise you. What did you do to surprise Michigan?
Well, we've been running without a huddle some, and some of those things just to kind of keep it changed up.
Coach, I know you're busy. You got to get back out there. We got to get back upstairs to Keith Jackson.
Okay, David, thank you very much. I saw Dick Crum has got it cut right down to the bottom line. It's just matter of fact, that's the way it's going, and that's what we're going to keep on trying to do.
Don't all math majors talk that way? He was a math major and minor in physics. What's he doing coaching?
Might as well get to the bottom line and be done with it. All
that's what mathematics is all
semantical
about.
wondering, yeah. Here's the kickoff. Anthony Carter takes it a yard in the end zone. Whoa, look out. He gets it on up across the 20 to about the 23. And it'll be first down for Michigan. North Carolina opens with Dick Donnell Thompson at defensive tackle. Bob Duncan is the nose guard. Not all that big, but very quick. John Brugus has some size, 235 pounds. Calvin Daniels is one of the linebackers at 231. Lawrence Taylor had a big first half at 237 pounds. Darrell Nicholson also played well at 230. And Buddy Curry, inside linebacker, at 220. Offsides called against North Carolina on the kickoff. And I would suspect that Michigan will take it and try to give Anthony Carter an opportunity to get a little more ground under him.
And he is an exciting football player. Already a touchdown pass, 5 for the season out of 14 receptions.
So while they bring the ball back upfield, let's have a look at the halftime statistics.
Both offenses were productive. Michigan 7 first downs, surprising 221 yards passing, no turnovers. North Carolina balanced, good balance. 1-5 rushing, 101 passing, 1 turnover, which was costly.
Ball is moved back to the 35-yard line where Jeff Hayes will put it up. Carolina with a wind in the third quarter. Michigan will have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. It is a 9-7 ball game. Cade is 33. Carter is number 1. Hayes should be able to get that ball pretty deep with the wind. Oh, yes. Oh, he knocked the air out of it. So while they're waiting for Michigan to put it in play at the 20, let's look at the defensive secondary. Larry Winters at cornerback for Carolina. David Singleton is the other cornerback. Ricky Barden, the all-conference strong safety, and Steve Streeter, who also does the punting.
Jeff Hayes kicked that football, according to Mike Swanson, 72 yards in the air. I remind you, though, the wind is helping, but that's still a fair piece. All right, here comes Michigan now, with B.J. Dickey in at quarterback, replacing the injured John Wengler. Mike Turgeback also out with a bad knee. And Dickey hands the ball off to the fullback Roosevelt Smith, and Smith breaks it out to the 31-yard line for a first down. The Michigan offense starting out here in the second half this way. Up along the front. And in the backfield, you've got Woolfolk and Edwards. Oh, Edwards is out of there right now, and Smith is in. Clayton and Carter, your wide men, and those are the big guys up front. And it's first down from just outside the 31. Dickey gives it again to Roosevelt Smith, and Smith is from the 31 or so up to the 34. Give him 3. Bob Duncan, the tackle for North Carolina.
It appears that the strategy that Bo Schembechler told his quarterback, run right at the North Carolina defense, which is back off the line of scrimmage. Linebackers 5 yards deep, defensive tackles flex 2 yards deep.
They send Clayton to the right and Carter to the left or the near side. Second down and 7. Dickey slips, almost falls down, and he is caught behind the line of scrimmage, run down by Donnell Thompson.
One big advantage of deep linebackers and tackles is they're nearly impossible to cut them off on option plays. That occasion was a good example.
I'll tell you one thing, Frank. You know that somebody up in that front's playing some pretty good football, because I haven't called Buddy Curry's name a whole lot tonight, and he's a heck of a football player. Play that middle linebacking position.
Give Bo Duncan, the nose guard, a lot of credit.
He's done a good job. Carolina defense bouncing around. They're showing a 5-man front right now as Dickey goes back to throw on 3rd down and 10. Throws outside. The pass is caught by Marsh. Marsh is short of the first down. This time we can call Buddy Curry's name. He went out there and got the Michigan tight end, stopped him short of the first down. And you see Marsh working here in isolation.
Delayed play. He blocks the end, and he's kind of a safety valve. The other receivers were covered. Of course, Marsh is 4'6" speed, has 4'6" speed, 233 pounds, short of the first down.
Virgil is in to punt. He's hit 3 for 34-yard average. Barton deep for North Carolina. That's a pretty good kick into the wind. Hangs it up there. Fair catch call by Carolina. The ball is going to go over to the Tar Heels just inside their 34-yard line, and Michigan will send out defensively Curtis Greer. Great senior all-conference. Turgeback obviously is not in there. Chris Godfrey will move over and play that position. Mike is hurt. Dale Kites is a defensive tackle. Ben Needham is one of the linebackers, or what about the defensive end. Mel Owens is a linebacker. Ron Simpkins is inside at a linebacker, and so is Andy Canavino. North Carolina starts working, gives the ball to Amos Lawrence from the 34 out to the 36 for 2 yards. The time showing in the 3rd quarter, 12 minutes and 20 seconds, and Michigan leading North Carolina by a score of 9-2.
2nd and 8.
The scoring summary: Brian Virgil hit a 20-yard field goal for Michigan. Handoff goes to the tailback again. And no, it's Pascal carrying this time, and Pascal is out across the 40 to about the 42. Mike Jolly is out of the ball game, or is he back now? No, he's come back. He was shaken up, but he's back. Mark Brayman has played the whole game. Jeff Reeves has alternated some with Stu Harris. Michael Darden, number 4, is a safety. And Mark Brayman is the other man, number 28. Anthony Carter, a 53-yard play from Wengler for a touchdown, and Pascal scored from 1 yard out for North Carolina. Bill Farris goes in motion for the Tar Heels now. And the ball is given off to number 44, Kelvin Bryant. He's a 185-pound freshman out of Tarboro, North Carolina.
Keith, he didn't make it unless they give him just an unusual spot.
No, he didn't make it. So Streeter comes in to punt. Michigan will send Anthony Carter deep at 11:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Harden goes back as the short man for Michigan. Kicks away, pretty good kick, angling for the sidelines, and it is a very good kick. Ball hits on the 15, skitters out at the 13, and the Wolverines have poor field position working into the wind as they come to the attack. Here comes Michigan. The ball is actually short of the 13-yard line, closer to the 12. First down. B.J. Dickey is quarterback with Smith and Woolfolk behind him. Woolfolk has not hurt North Carolina so far out of that tailback position. Michigan's ground game has been punchless. Butch has got it, turns it upfield this time, and gets a rather decent gain out of it. Moving it up for the better part of 7 yards as he gets to the 19. Barton was there on the tackle. So was Streeter, number 5. I'm a little surprised that, and to be very honest about it, I am quite surprised that Michigan's not been able to run more against North Carolina's defense.
North Carolina has 4 outstanding linebackers. The 2 ends, stand-up defensive ends, and the 2 linebackers. You can see the pursuit. The 2 tackles are backed off 2 yards. The linebackers are about 5 yards.
Dickey sends his fullback up the middle, and Smith breaks it big and gets a Michigan first down. And I'll tell you, Roosevelt wasn't that far from really taking off. Brought down by Larry Winters.
One of the best plays in football is the fullback trap. The left guard, that's Becca pulled and trapped. Roosevelt Smith pops right up the middle. Excuse me, that's Arbesnik pulled, number 64.
Ball is at the 39-yard line, first down for Michigan. They lead 9-7 in this ball game. Dickey on an option. Has to turn it back into the middle, and he runs right into Donnell Thompson, and he stops after about 2 yards. And here's David Downs with the hospital list.
All right, I just talked with Dr. Gerald O'Connor, the Michigan team physician. He tells me that Turgevit and Wangler have injuries to their ligaments, will probably have surgery, will definitely not be back. Mike Jolly had his bell rung. They're watching him and hopeful that he can get back into the game.
Okay, David. Second down and 8 for the Wolverines at their own 41. Dickey back to throw it. Going deep. Clayton's out there. Incomplete. And that's good defense on the play by number 26, David Singleton. He was on him all the way.
Well, when you take the receiver on the boundary and just send him on a fly pattern, it's very easy for the halfback to cover him. He has deep responsibility. And you can see Singleton, number 28, perfect position, good play, incomplete pass.
It'll be third down and 8 from the 41 for Michigan. Dickey's looking. Now he's got some room. Trying for his yard marker, and he gets clotheslined by Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor shows up in critical situations.
You know, he got him just about a half a yard short of that first down.
He pulled him back towards the goal line to prevent the first down. Just a sensational play to force the punt. Watch the tackle. Taylor, 6'3", 237 pounds. Watch him take Dickey and pull him back to prevent the first down.
That's the difference right there. If Dickey had been allowed to fall forward, he'd have had the first down.
Bo is trying to decide if he's going for it.
Well, I think it's probably closer than they've set it up. I think it's less than a yard, and Michigan will talk about it right now. Harping on a subject, except this one happens to be so vital to the ebb and flow of fortune in college football. Your kicking game is important, and you can see that Michigan was not very good in 1979, and it hasn't been particularly good tonight. Though a good many of Virgil's punts tonight have been into the wind. He gets the good snap. Oh, this time he hits it down. Well, bless his heart, he finally got one. Barton goes back to the 7, picks it up, and comes back to about the 14. And there's a penalty flag back there, and it might be against Carolina for a little clip.
The first thing is that Barton should not have handled the punt. You teach your safety to stand on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes over your head, let it go. 9 out of 10 of them will go over the end zone line.
Yep, that's what it is. It looks like it's Barton down on the field. So let's have a look at the replay and pick up the clip.
Let's watch the right side of the picture and see if we can tell. There it is, right.
Yep.
there on the bottom of your screen.
Rolled right across the back of his legs.
And, of course, it's just unnecessary. When you're in poor position to block, you teach your players, don't flip, let him make the tackle. Look where the mistake put North Carolina's offensive unit.
Where they've got to be very careful. They've fumbled it away one time in the ball game tonight. I guess that's the only turnover we've had in the ball game.
And Barton is walking off the field under his own power. That's
Ricky's
good news for North Carolina fans.
Very durable fellow. 8:22 to go in the third quarter. Michigan still sitting on that 2-point lead, 9-7. Neither team has had a threat here in the second half. Now Kupek comes up at the 3, turns and hands it off to Mr. Dependable out of his backfield, Pascal. And Pascal is brought down by Canavino.
Michigan's strategy on defense in this position is to go into a goal line defense. Do everything you can to prevent a first down, because when they punt, you'll have field position and take possession probably on their side of the 50, which 50% of the time you can put points on the scoreboard.
Chatham is in now on 2nd down and 8. Lawrence, your tailback. That's Tucker in motion. Look at Kupek. He's going to put it up. Throws it to Tucker. And Tucker lunging is short of the first down. Jeff Reeves able to hold him short for Michigan.
Well, I think that that's what you can do play selection-wise when you have a senior quarterback who started for 4 years. You have confidence in him, and you move the ball out close to a first down by throwing the ball. Your best chance.
3rd down. Need about a yard, and Billy Johnson's in there at the fullback position. Pascal, the fullback, drops back to tailback, and he's got the ball, and he has a first down and then some as he runs it to the 22. So they put the 2 big backs in there. Pascal is 212. He's the fullback, so they drop him back to tailback, and they put in Billy Johnson. And Billy out of Buckingham, Virginia, weighs 249 pounds, so he's a thumper in there at that fullback position.
Well, that's good strategy. Short yardage, you're going to run straight ahead, get your biggest blocker at fullback, and your biggest ball carrier to handle the short yardage situations.
Let's call it the 21-yard line. That's closer to that hash mark. Lawrence is back in there now. Amos is in motion. Kupek rolls that way, throws it short. The pass is completed. Making the catch is Mike Chatham, and Chatham is out for another Carolina first down. Now they're beginning to look impressive as they whip that ball all the way from the 3.
Well, they're having balance, throwing the ball, running the ball. On this particular situation, it's a quick pass to the tight end in the crease in front of the defensive end, Needham, who had dropped off to defend against the man in motion and left the area uncovered.
Kupek now 13 out of 19 for 120 yards, gained 13. Call it just short of the 35. And Chatham moves from right to left side. Joel Gray is on the right side, and Kupek's back to throw it. Shoots it over the middle. The pass is incomplete, and there's a penalty flag, and I would suspect Chatham, in drawing the crowd, Michigan's going to get an interference call. Simpkins, of course, is hollering about it. I don't think Ron was the man who ran into it.
I believe 43 Reeves may have interfered. But anyway, Chatham, number 88, the leading receiver, not a starter, but made all Atlantic Coast Conference, even though he doesn't start. Let's watch 43. He made contact with the receiver before the ball was there. Too soon. Clearly illegal.
At the 47 of North Carolina, 12-yard penalty there. First down, Tar Heels. They're moving. Lawrence. And he's got the football all the way down at the Michigan 44. That's a yard short of a first down. Mel Owens brought him down.
North Carolina substitutes their tight end, Sheldon Robinson, 225 pounds, made the key block that allowed Lawrence to break into the secondary. Passing situations, Chatham comes onto the field. And I don't believe I've ever heard of a substitute making all conference. But Mike Chatham did. 8 touchdown passes, 29 receptions.
Amos Lawrence now has 86 yards. Second down, 1. Kupek looking for a big one. Goes instead to the short man, Pascal, coming out of the backfield. Doug brings it down, and he's been a very dependable pass receiver. All season, that's just enough for the first down. Well, 1 yard past the stakes.
he wanted to go deep, or he wanted to come back to the tight end crossing, but the blitz was on. Short yardage, Michigan blitzed their linebackers, and before the pattern developed, Kupek had to release the ball.
He's pretty clever, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is impressive. Mixing up runs and passes, keeping the defense of Michigan off balance.
That's Lawrence. Oh, I tell you, he scares you every time he gets it.
Well, you know, Lawrence has been described as a slithering runner. I can hardly see it. But you can see he has a little daylight. He keeps his head up, watches where the soft spot's going to be, and picks up another North Carolina first down.
Ball is at the Michigan 31. Remember, the Tar Heels started back on the 3. Right now, they're carving up the Wolverine defense. Pascal. Needham grabs him. They'll give him a yard to the 30.
Look at Amos Lawrence, 16.97 yards. Michigan defense has only allowed 3 runners to gain 100 yards in the last 3 years. That is really impressive.
Well, the weather's cool. Almost ideal playing conditions. Could do with a little less wind. I don't think anybody ought to be getting too tired. Though Michigan's defense has been out there a long time tonight. Played a lot. Kupek throws it to the sidelines to Tucker. Tucker is out of bounds. And I think he might be just short of a stake. Be close. Yep.
That's impressive. Really impressive. This little play action passes or possession type passes, high percentage, low risk, very low calculated risk, putting the ball in the air to the man in motion right on the boundary, particularly when there's no one there to defend against it. Michigan did not adjust their defense. Tucker went in motion, turned up the field. Kupek was right on target.
It'll be 3rd down and a couple of inches for the first down as the ball is down at the Michigan 21.
And Johnson, who you might expect, the fullback, comes into the game, and Lawrence goes out, and Pascal goes to tailback.
Billy, he's a pound short of 250. He's got it. Boom, over the middle he goes like a fallen tree. First down.
He's not a bad runner.
No, he's not.
Himself. He's the 3rd leading ball carrier.
That's the 6th first down in this possession for North Carolina. They started back on their 3, and they've run off 10 plays. 3:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Michigan sitting on a 2-point lead, 9-7. At the Wolverine 19. That's Pascal in motion. Lawrence trying to find him, to run behind him. Amos cuts it inside and gets it to the 14 for 7 yards. By golly, I tell you, when you get in behind that big old Ron Wooten, that number 78, 258-pounder from Kinston.
I was going to say the same thing. Dick Crum says he's one of the finest blockers he has ever seen. And Lawrence made a sensational cut back inside the pursuit to avoid the loss, pick up 5 yards. Now he's 102 yards, only the 4th runner to rush for over 100 yards against Michigan in the last 3 years.
But he improved. Amos in motion. Kupek rolling. Look out. Owens is coming. They pick him up. And the pass over the middle is incomplete. Intended for Tucker. Jolly in the ball game was back there covering him. Mel Owens was coming like a thunderbolt. Donnelly, the center, rolled back and picked him off.
43 Reeves is the cornerback. It was a corner blitz, and he's coming in, and he hits Kupek just as he throws the ball and forced the bad throw.
Kupek now 15 out of 22 for 130. He had hit 5 in a row up till that miss. So it's 3rd down and about 4. Pass is caught. And it's first down and goal to go, North Carolina, as Mike Chatham, the junior from Elkin, puts it down at the Michigan 6.
You're going to see Kupek thread a needle. Chatham only had a step advantage, and Kupek on the run, being rushed by Needham 83, rifles the ball right on target, and Chatham shows why he was all conference, even though he's a substitute. Does not start.
Goal line defense for Michigan, and Kupek on a roll. There's nobody to throw to. He tries to unload it, but he was out of bounds before he got rid of the ball. So there's a loss on that play back to the 12-yard line. Curtis Greer was the man that kept herding him to the sideline. He had two men in the end zone, but he couldn't find either one of them. Well, there's a good reason for it, too.
Yes, when you're rolling out to the left and then you're rushed, it's hard to look back and throw back against the grain. And Kupek is just trying to avoid the loss since he had first down
on the 6.
On the 6, that's right. Boy, that's a tough break for him. Mistake that they did not want to happen to him. Let's see if they go to Chatham, who has caught 8 touchdown passes in the last 8 games.
Bill Ferris is wide to the right side this time. Second down and goal from outside the 12. Bryant in at tailback in motion. Into the corner. Ferris, touchdown.
Ferris had 4 touchdown passes in the first 4 games, was injured. You can see the safety blitz. Harden is right on top of Kupek. He throws it up. Now watch this catch. Watch this catch. It's a sensational effort. Concentration as he leaped high and brought the pass down for completion.
Hayes for the extra point. P.J. Gay to hold it. Good. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. North Carolina goes on top of Michigan for the first time tonight, 14-9.
Who's the symbol of good customer care?
Mr. Goodwrench.
Who stands for your GM dealer's commitment to improving service at over 6,000 participating dealerships?
Mr. Goodwrench.
Whose face is seen nearly everywhere?
Mr. Goodwrench's.
Look for him. He wants to show you he cares about you and your GM car.
It's him, Mom.
Keep that great GM feeling.
It's Mr. Goodwrench.
With genuine GM parts.
The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. North Carolina moving out on top, 14-9. With 2:19 to go in the third quarter, and that was most impressive. That march from the 3, 97 yards they took it. Got the touchdown.
14 plays, and get this, 49 yards passing, 48 yards rushing. What balance.
And a great catch for that young man right there, Phil Ferris. All right, Cade and Carter are deep. Hayes will kick it off with a wind. Michigan will have the wind in the final quarter. Remember that. Deep in the end zone. Carter will let it go. It'll be Michigan first down up at its own 20-yard line to have another look at the touchdown now as Kupek makes a good solid throw under heavy pressure and Ferris makes a fine catch.
Safety man Harden, all Big Ten, is putting the rush on. He throws off balance. Kupek does, but watch this catch. Sensational leap, concentration, controls the ball, falls for the touchdown. What a play. Man-for-man coverage.
Smith at fullback, Woolfolk at tailback, B.J. Dickey the quarterback, Wengler out with a knee injury, Turgeback out with a knee injury. Ball is handed off to the fullback, and Roosevelt Smith has a yard. And the big guy down at the bottom is Donnell Thompson, 76. They haven't moved him out of there all night long.
He is 6'5", 245 pounds, with quickness and speed and strength. He's played sensationally so far tonight. Look how far back, now he's moved it up.
5-man defensive front, Dickey to throw it. Swings it out to Woolfolk on the screen. Butch dives for the 30, and he got there. So it'll be a first down as Buddy Curry made the defensive play for Carolina. Minute 34 to go in the third quarter. The wind continues to blow at a little better than 20 miles an hour.
Butch Woolfolk, who was on the receiving end of that pass, had gains this fall of 92, 58, 41, 37, 30, and 30 yards, simply because he has blazing speed, first and second and third in the Big Ten in the 100-meter and 200-meter.
He's been pretty well collared tonight, though.
Yes, he has.
Dickey on an option. Out it goes to Woolfolk. And Butch goes up around the 37-yard line. Streeter and Daniels with the tackle. Yes, David Downs.
Turgevic, the young man near me here, told me he heard something pop on the North Carolina touchdown, and he said that one of his own teammates, Curtis Greer, fell on him. He heard something pop. It is a ligament injury. He does not know yet whether he will require surgery. He does know that he has 1 year of eligibility left, and that's what he's looking forward to. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Dave. Second down, about 2. Woolfolk looking for the outside. He's got it. He's got the first down. We're going to mark him out around the 42-yard line. Larry Winters on the play, and there's the time remaining in the third period with the clock stopping at 25 seconds to go. The clock stops when they move the chains. Once the chains are in place, the referee whistles back into movement, and then you have 25 seconds to snap the ball. Stanley Edwards back in the lineup now. He's at fullback. Strange position for him. From the 42. Dickey on the option. B.J. dives it up to the 45. And that'll do it for the third quarter. The 35th Annual Gator Bowl from Jacksonville, Florida continues after this message from one of our sponsors and station identification. The Goodyear Blimp Enterprise out of Pompano Beach with Captain Patrick Henry from Parsons, West Virginia, and our cameraman Charlie Mitchell. Floating over the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. It is second down and 7 yards to go, and B.J. Dickey is looking for Doug Marsh, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Winters, and Winters runs the football deep into Michigan territory. First down, Tar Heels at the Wolverine 37. The first turnover by Michigan.
One thing you don't do is throw the ball over the shoulder of the tight end into the cornerback's hand. That's exactly what happened. They were trying to throw the out-and-up pattern to the tight end, number 80 Marsh. They overthrow it. And Winters, the freshman, makes a fantastic interception. As we see it again, you will notice that Dickey just completely overthrows Marsh, number 80, the tight end. 57, Curry, the linebacker, makes a fine block. Winters returns it about 10 yards.
And the Tar Heels are on the move with Amos Lawrence. Rolling to the 35-yard line. Down in the bottom of it is Mel Owens. 3 quarters of play, and here's what it looks like in statistics.
Well, North Carolina has jumped way out in front in first downs because 7 were made in that drive of 97 yards. Yardage 336 to 301. Time about the same. Still just 1 turnover in the game.
Billy Johnson's in there at fullback now. Lawrence in motion. Johnson. Oh, I tell you, he's a horse. You hook a wagon to him, he'd move it, wouldn't he?
He's an ideal I-formation fullback. 250 pounds. Good blocker, good quick feet. North Carolina needs to make a first down to capitalize on that turnover.
See there that Amos Lawrence has run for more yardage tonight than the entire Michigan running game, which has been a big surprise in this ball game. It is 3rd and 5 from the Wolverine 33. Lawrence. They didn't get the first down, but he's close enough, I think, for them to go for it on 4th.
It's about 1.5 yards. It appears to be about 1 yard. Remember that North Carolina field goal kickers already missed 2 going into this win.
Ball's marked right on the 29. Got to go close to the 27. get his first down. Pascal comes back in. Richardson comes in. They replace Lawrence. Now Richardson goes back off. So they've got their elephant backfield, if you like. Johnson and Pascal, the big boy. Pascal did not get it. Bremen came up out of the secondary, number 28. Met him right on the numbers, and with help from Ron Simpkins, they stop him short of the first down.
When you fire the quarterback inside, which is the defense that they called, it was perfect timing because the quarterback fired inside the defensive end, Owens, number 53, and tackled Pascal right at the line of scrimmage. A big, big play.
Oh, was it ever. If Carolina goes on down, if they could get 3, it's a big play to make it 17-9. Now it's 14-9 with 12:43 to play in the game. Michigan has the ball and the win. First down at their 29. Edwards out of the fullback position. Stanley up across the top from the 29 to the 33. Darrell Nicholson pins him down right there.
Edwards tackled by Nicholson.
Roosevelt Smith comes back in to play at fullback. Edwards comes out. And it'll be second down and 6 from the 33. Going over the middle with it. Intercepted! Oh, he missed his man completely. It is picked off by Nicholson, the linebacker, and Carolina is cooking again, deep in Michigan territory. Singleton. It was Singleton that picked it off, wasn't it?
I believe it was Nicholson.
Was it Nicholson? Singleton and Nicholson both there, once 26, once 29, and it was the linebacker who had dropped back.
Well, you're going to see the fake and the Dickey's trying to hit Marsh, the tight end, on the crossing pattern.
Sure,
watch the high throw. Way over his head. Linebacker.
Right there.
Nicholson. Not much of a fullback, but still making a good run out of it.
Ball is at the Michigan 22. First down, North Carolina. And Kupak, who's had a big night, is hit from behind by Owens. And the ball bouncing around, what'd they call?
They called fumble. They did not, the referee did not call it an incomplete pass.
It's Michigan's ball.
I'd like to see that again.
Well, let's look at it.
Let's see if wow.
Pretty close.
His arm was up in the air. North Carolina coaches are complaining.
Rule of thumb, though, Frank, is the arm has got to go past that point of the shoulder in a throwing motion, doesn't it? And that's pretty close
Well, let's see if he does. Let's see. Here's the ball. He's going to raise it up. It's above the shoulder, and the arm comes forward.
Oh, that's judgment. Awfully close to being an incomplete forward pass, but whatever, Michigan gets the ball. First down at their own 22, and we've got a timeout. All right, Michigan gets the ball back on the fumble at the 22, first down, with 11 minutes and 52 seconds to play. When Wangler left the ball game, he was 6 of 8, 203 yards, no interceptions, and a touchdown. Dickey in relief, 4 of 9 for 34 yards and 2 interceptions. Dickey on the option. Outside it goes to Woolfolk. Butch around the corner. 25 and 29. Picked up 9. Let's go back to the play where Kupak is trying to throw the ball. Is it a fumble or is it a pass?
Remember that if the quarterback gets his arm above his shoulder and has any forward motion, it's an incomplete pass. You be the judge. And Keith, as you mentioned, it could be the key play of the ball game.
I'm glad I didn't have to make the call, frankly.
I am too.
Very much like the uproar that came after the USC Notre Dame play a season ago. That's Roosevelt Smith. Fumble, Carolina gets it. Paul Davis, Jr. from Appalachia, Virginia. Nicholson, the man that knocked it out of there.
Let's watch it again. It's a quick handoff. You can see that Smith has the ball. Let's see if we can detect how it gets knocked out. There's Nicholson. 29, he just strips the ball free. This is the third turnover in the fourth quarter in 3 minutes and 20 seconds of play.
Glad I don't have to eat supper with both. Wow, first down from the Michigan 35.
You know, one thing, Keith, I just want to say that Bo Schembechler does the best job in the world of teaching his defense after a sudden exchange, when adversity hits, to come out on that field, fire it up, and get the ball back to the offense, and he's done it twice.
Gain of a yard by Lawrence. Second down and 9 from 34. Kupek's a tough customer. Hard outthinking. Straight drop, throws it short over the middle, and Mel Owens almost picked that one off, intended for Amos Lawrence. Boy, he almost had it. If he'd have gotten around the corner, he is a quick guy. He's played some fullback at high school level.
He had clear sail. They were in man-for-man coverage, and he was trailing Lawrence. A good throw would have been a completion for a big gain. It was a full throw and a near interception. Third and 10, situation where Michigan loves to have the other team offensive unit.
Well, now they've blitzed 3 or 4 times tonight, and they've yet to really score with it. Got way back early in the game.
Double coverage.
Double up this time. Kupek won't get there. He picked up. No, I don't think he got anything. He got back to about the line of scrimmage as Simpkins and Weber were the people that got to him. So it's going to bring up 4th down and probably a field goal try. Nope, Streeter comes out, the punter. It gives me a chance at 10:40 to tell you about Laverne and Shirley. They are moving to a new time, 8 p.m. next Monday. So with NFL Monday Night Football gone for the year, Laverne and Shirley go to 8 o'clock. Michigan puts on some pressure. Streeter's kick. Oh, it's down at the 1.
Somebody made a sensational play.
So Carolina has put Michigan just as far away from their goal line as they possibly could. They lead 14-9 with 10:21 to play in the final quarter. Michigan at the 1-yard line. Everybody's in the end zone. On the snap, they give the ball to the fullback Smith, and he lunges out to about the 3. Let's go back to the punt now. Watch the ball coming down. You tell me if that ball in the hands of that player there does not break the plane of the goal line. Wow. I say the ball's in the end zone and should have come back to the 20.
A good yard, it looks like.
Oh, Davy Nelson. Well, I tell you, it looks to me like it's in the end zone. Second down and 8. Dickey out of the end zone will put it up. Incomplete. Looking for Carter. Carter running in double coverage.
Pass is broken up by Studer.
They just felt they had to come with a pass since North Carolina had an 8-man line, man-for-man secondary. So they came out throwing, and they still covered Carter, and they threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
Carter and Clayton are wide. Clayton's over there with single coverage on him. Dickey getting pressure. Throws it. Carter's got it. Got a first down. Nope. They call him out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Schembechler is roaring down the sideline. They called him out of bounds. They called him out when he caught it.
You think Bo Schembechler in the fighter? He is.
Let's look at it from the end zone.
Let's see if we can detect if he had 1 foot in fact inbounds.
That's a Michigan 2.
It's an excellent throw.
Well, you can't tell because that Carolina player shields it. He must have been standing on the sidelines when he caught it. Now, you can't see it from that angle. Well, let's see about this one.
One of the toughest things to do is to punt this close.
We'll look at it after the punt. Out of the end zone, Virgil hits Spinner upfield, and it is taken by Winters. And Winters runs it back down to about the 33-yard line. Now let's look again at Anthony Carter.
Carter is just hooking up right in on the boundary. The people on the...
No, he stepped on the side.
His left foot is on the boundary.
Good call. By golly, I've been riding him a little bit lately. I'll give him credit for that one. That was a good call.
Fisher was right on top of that play.
A lot harder down there than it is up here, I'll tell you that right now. They hand it off inside to Pascal, the fullback, and Pascal from the 33 hits it down to about the 28. Later tonight, ABC News continuing coverage of the crisis in Iran, America held hostage. It'll come following your late local news. Second down, long 5. There's that little short pass whipped in there and caught. And it's going to be a first down for North Carolina inside the 18-yard line. Coming up from the bottom of the stack is Jeff Gray, and it was Jeff Gray who made a big play that led to Carolina's first touchdown.
Perfect throw, right on target. One of the toughest passes to defend against, the slant in, but it takes a very difficult throw. It's not as easy as it looks. Kupek right on target.
Whole fourth quarter has been played deep in Michigan territory. First down for the Tar Heels just outside the 17. Amos Lawrence. And he's down about the 16. North Carolina's last 4 possessions have been at the Michigan 37, 21, Michigan 35, and the Michigan 32.
Again, Michigan defense is accustomed to throwing a team back after a turnover. I've heard Bo talk and lecture so many times about going in after adversity and play your very best.
Lawrence now with 110 yards on 21 carries. That's Pascal. And Pascal is hit right about the line of scrimmage. They'll give him to about the 15. Michael Parsons, free safety, was up in the slot there, and he and Greer got him.
One thing you do defensively on this part of the field, you can use your secondary blitzing because you don't have to cover deep. You only cover the width of the field. And so they blitz the safety up the middle and caught the fullback running in that direction.
On third down, the pass is thrown in behind Gray, incomplete. And there was a little pressure that time on Kupek as Canavino came blowing in. And now, here comes Jeff Hayes. With 7 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the ball game, the North Carolina place kicker has a chance to give North Carolina an 8-point lead.
I don't want to jinx him, but he's missed 2. Taking in the win in the first quarter.
Well, he has missed from 42, 32, 53. This is a 32-yarder out of P.J. Gay's hole. A lot of leg. Good. .7:31 to play in this 35th annual Gator Bowl game, and North Carolina leads Michigan 17-9. An 8-point lead for North Carolina as Hayes now will kick off with Cade and Carter deep for the Wolverine. Bo Schembechler's football teams at Michigan have never won the last game of the season, be it regular season or bowl, whatever it was the last game of the year. They've never won it. Carter's got to pick it up at the 5. Boom. Rocky White. Penalty flag thrown. Might be a dead ball foul here.
Let's watch Carter. He gets 3 right there by 3 North Carolina players. Michigan has thrown for 2 interceptions this half, fumbled the ball deep on their end of the field. The defense stopped them on all 3 occasions.
Foul is against Carolina.
Watch on the right-hand part of the screen. It looks like Spirit. No? Over on the...
No. I think what happened was that one of the tacklers clotheslined it, didn't he?
I believe it's right over here. 80 hit 84 or vice versa. I believe he got confused again.
Michigan. Yeah, he pointed the other way. It's against Carolina, but it's against Michigan. So Marsh,
that is inexcusable. Trailing by 8 points to back his team up and a dead ball foul. First down and 20.
Mike Wilshire of North Carolina getting into it over there with Doug Marsh. And I don't know who threw the first one, but Marsh was the one who got caught.
Oh, sometimes it's when he hits second.
That's right. 10-yard line. First down, Michigan, with 7:26 to go, and they're going to run out of time pretty soon as Stan Edwards runs it out to about the 15, or the better part of 5 yards.
The biggest surprise is the lack of rushing by Michigan in this ball game.
That really surprised me. Really does. You know that North Carolina has gained 322 yards in the ball game. They've gained 161 on the ground and 161 in the air.
Would you call that balance? Just perfect.
Well, it depends. If the score doesn't change, I'd say I'd agree with you. It's a very quick, good, solid football team that Dick Crumb's put together. Dickey on the option. Oh, look at this. B.J. Dickey runs the football out to the 33-yard line for a first down. Steve Streeter brought him down.
When we see it again, you'll see the option play, and the end's going to run up the field. The defensive end runs up the field. Daniels, number 47, and of course Dickey is taught to keep the ball inside. Linebacker Curry overruns the play. Finally, Streeter, the safety man, makes the tackle.
Smith is in at fullback after Stan Edwards missed that block. Here's a pitch to Wolford, reverse it to Carter. Carter wants to throw it, gets it off downfield, and it is penalty, North Carolina. Ralph Clayton was not given an opportunity by David Singleton to get back to the ball. Did you see that Carter kid jump up in the air and throw that Harry Gilmer type thing downfield?
Carter on this play, it's a reverse pass. A good call in this situation. Hits the ball to Wolford. He's going to hand the ball to Carter. Carter is rushed right here. He's going to leap like he's going to dunk the basketball. He throws, and let's watch the interference. Singleton, if he has his back, if the defender has his back to the pass, he cannot make contact with the receiver. This he did. He reached out and grabbed him with his left hand.
It's a 42-yard penalty. And it's first down Michigan at the North Carolina 26. Dickey on an option. Run down. The ball is loose. Carolina's got it. Oh, that North Carolina defense just will not yield. Lawrence Taylor.
In defense of Dickey, he has not played since mid-October, but you should never pitch the ball when Daniels, number 47, hits it from the back, but you don't pitch the ball when you're in the grasp of a defender. You take your loss and line up on next down. As we look at it again, watch Daniels, number 47, who plays the weak side in, come all the way across the backfield, and he's going to grasp Dickey as he tries to pitch the ball. He should not have pitched.
And Carolina has it back at their own 35. Kupek gives to Lawrence. Amos has one. Second down and 9 coming. Clock running, coming up on 6 minutes to play in the football game. And remember, the ABC News special continuing coverage of the Iran crisis, America held hostage, follows your local news tonight. Football game coming up on midnight Eastern time. But your local news will follow the football game, and then we'll continue our coverage of the Iranian crisis. The pass, no good. Chatham did not have a hold of it inbound. But boy, I tell you, he's got sticky fingers, doesn't he?
He does, and Needham, number 83, is going to make a sensational defensive play. Watch Needham as he is covering Chatham in the flat, man for man, and you'll watch him have to force the deep, wide throw, high throw, out over the outstretched arms of Chatham, but he pulls it in, but not before he...
Pretty close.
Yeah. Don't believe he's got control when he touches the boundary.
Nope. Third down and 9. And that's short of the first down by about a yard. Just a little bit short by Amos Lawrence. Here's David Dowd.
The man on the ground is Dr. Robert Anderson, one of the Michigan team physicians. He was hit as that last pass went out of bounds, and he appears to be conscious, but he is shaken up quite badly. And we can report with absolute certainty that there has been slugging in the Gator Bowl this year, and Doug Marsh, Michigan's fine tight end, number 80, has been disqualified from the game.
And Streeter into punt, hangs one up into the wind, hitting it toward the sideline and knocks it out of bounds at the 26-yard line of Michigan. So the Wolverines get the ball one more time with 4:59 to play in the game.
Link is building more small cars than ever before. That means low-priced Chevy Chevettes and Chevy Monzas. And dynamite-looking Camaros. So right now, your Chevy dealer may have just the car you've been waiting for. Chevy's got it, America. Just come and get it.
Yes, Chevy's got it. Just come and get it. Get a brand new Chevrolet.
The Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Sitting alongside the St. John River, and Michigan now with the ball for the 6th time in the 4th quarter. First down at their own 26-yard line. B.J. Dickey's pass over the middle is caught by the tailback Woolfolk. And he's hit almost instantly at the 32. They might give him to the 33. Michigan in the 4th quarter has had, prior to this possession, the ball 5 times. They've run off 11 plays. They've had 4 turnovers.
Just don't believe that Dickey, without the practice, hadn't been injured with a shoulder separation in October, has the ability to bring him from behind as Wangler would have.
Second down and long 2. Woolfolk has the first down as he runs the football out to the 42-yard line. Clock stops now to move the chains at 4:18 to play in the game. North Carolina 17 and Michigan 9. Woolfolk now on 15 carries with 62 yards in the game. Carter and Clayton are the right people. Marsh, remember, has been kicked out. Betts is in at tight end. Dickey to throw it. He's got... Betts catches it. And Norm's still going. Betts is inside the 40. Clayton was out there all by his lonesome. And I wasn't sure whether or not Dickey was trying to throw it to Betts or throw it to Clayton.
Well, one of the toughest passes to defend against is a tight end cross. After the linebackers had gone to the left with a fake of the running play, but watch this great effort, second effort by sophomore Norm Betts, number 82, and he's not going down. He is 230 pounds, and Von 11, Barton comes across and wrestles him to the ground.
Just inside the Carolina 40, first down for the Wolverines. The ball goes to Woolfolk, the tailback, and Woolfolk is over the middle and a penalty flag thrown. Umpire threw it. Holding Michigan. That's a major. 3:40 to play in the game. Woolfolk had about 7 yards, maybe 8, over the middle. One of the interior linemen caught holding.
Michigan has made so many mistakes in their offensive play tonight.
That's the 5th major penalty. 8 flags, 92 yards. They lost their starting quarterback and their starting middle guard and snapper to knee injuries.
And the clock starts.
And the tight end was kicked out in a slugging incident. One of the team doctors run over. It's been a hard night for the Wolverines. 3.5 minutes to play in the football game. Carolina almost jumping. Dickey back to throw, throws it short to Woolfolk, the tailback. And they move it from the Michigan 48 down to the North Carolina 46 for 6 yards. They've got to go inside the North Carolina 30 to get the first down. Program, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. At midnight, let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Second down at about 15. Dickey will put it up. Throws to Woolfolk, the tailback. He's got him at the 36-yard line. Now they're going to be looking at third down and a little more than 6, and there's the clock running.
And they had first and 25 to make up. You do it in 3s. You don't try to get it all at one time. And Dickey has shown a lot of poise on those last 2 passes.
Just a little more than 5 as the ball is set up at the 35. Carolina dancing around on third down. They're coming. Here's the option play. Dickey, the quarterback, is hit down at the 32. It'll be 4th down and a little more than 2. They have to go. 2 minutes to go in the game. North Carolina's defense, clawing, scratching, dancing, gambling. Playing tough.
Oh, this is a tough call, Keith.
Got to run the option. Dickey goes to Woolfolk. Dives. That's close. He's got it. He's got it. Well, I tell you, there was a determined play by Steve Streeter, though. A junior from Silva, North Carolina, came up there and locked horns with Woolfolk. Streeter weighs 168 pounds. Woolfolk weighs 207 pounds.
Free safety, just Streeter, as you said, made a sensational play. The option play, and we must remember that Woolfolk has 9.4 speed. Let's watch what happens at the line, at the sideline. Here's Streeter. He's trying to wrestle him back, but Woolfolk has too much momentum.
Lawrence Taylor just missed getting a hold of it. It was right on the money, just enough of the ball over the 30-yard line. Minute 34 to play in the game. First down, Michigan. Carolina leading 17-9. Dickey looking for Carter. Puts it up. Carter on the run. Touchdown! Anthony Carter. 28 seconds to play, and Michigan has scored to make it 17-15, and he beat Larry Winters. Just lofted it over his head. It was a marvelous throw by Dickey, but a greater run and catch by Carter.
Dickey makes a sensational throw. He caught North Carolina in man-for-man, a freshman covering Carter, another freshman, but the freshman Carter has 9.6 speed. The ball was laid up perfectly, touchdown.
Now they got to go for 2.
Watch Carter just run right by the freshman Winters. He's trailing, and the ball is perfect. He's going to drop it right down. The concentration by Carter, who, by the way, is from Florida. His
Going
second
for 2 to
touchdown.
tie. Going for 2 to tie. Clint Fuller, the referee, saying go. Michigan working under all that noise. Here's Dickey back to throw. Puts it up. No! Tried to get it to Anthony Carter. And he couldn't get it there. Carolina laid their ears back, and they were really coming.
On the goal line on 2-point play, you've got to rush, and they've got the blitz zone. Dickey has to throw before he's ready. Carter is wide open, but he could not control the ball.
Nope, the ball rolled right out of his hands, it appeared. He just threw a knuckleball up there, and Carter was open about 3 yards to it.
The rush, give credit to the rush.
Yep.
Safety blitz. Now we're going to have an onside kick, and you'll watch North Carolina trot out their defensive backs and wide receivers, and they'll put them up in the restraining line 11 yards from the ball.
Well, this has ended.
Been a heck of a ball game.
It really has.
How many times I've been here praying that we get the ball.
Ali Haji Sheikh will kick this one. Here comes your onside kick.
He touched the ball too quick, Keith.
Short of the 10 yards.
Defense, the kicking team.
Short of the 10 yards. He touched the ball before it crossed the 50-yard line.
He'd waited about 1 foot. 1 fraction of a second longer, 1 foot was the difference. One official definitely called it that way if he doesn't get talked out of it.
Time. It is North Carolina's ball.
Let's watch the replay as Michigan shift their defense over to the left. All their men covering. Watch 30 touch the ball before he touches the line. Beautiful camera work. The ball has to go 10 yards before it becomes a legal kick.
Looked like Tony Leone was the man that grabbed it. And so North Carolina has the football at the Michigan 49. A minute 28 to play in the football game. and possibly the victory.
Well, the Atlantic Coast Conference, surprisingly to many, had the best non-conference record of any league in the country.
Kupek gets it going. Now they're going to force Michigan to spend their timeouts. And the Wolverines call one right here. With 1:24 to play in the game, Michigan can stop the clock one more time. All right, we're ready to play football with a 1:24 showing on the clock. Michigan trailing by 2, had a chance, but missed on the extra point try when they had the man open. And here's North Carolina now, just going to run out the clock. Kupek rolling around. That's going to run with it as long as he can, then fall down. And now Michigan will spend the last time out in their possession right here.
As we look at the attempted two-point conversion, you're going to see the rush. And that is the key. Darnell Thompson, number 76, and the safety. And watch Carter. He's open. Ball hits in his hands, but when he falls, Keith, it knocked it out. That's what it appears. He had the ball in his hands, but when he fell to the ground, it knocked it loose.
Well, this is sort of like that Sugar Bowl game of a year ago between Alabama and Penn State, when Chuck Corral, the Penn State center, said after the ball game, and everybody had resurrected themselves and restored themselves. He said there's enough glory to go around. It's been a good football game here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. This 35th renewal of it.
Here's the extra point try again, the two-point try attempt. The rush is all over Dickey. He has to throw off balance. Now let's watch if Carter doesn't get the ball in his hands, but when he falls to the ground many times, the ball is knocked out, and I believe that's what happened.
Now, Michigan should be out of timeout. Mike Swanson, our statistician, nods his head yes, and they hand it off to that big fullback, Billy Johnson. He just runs it on up the middle. And Dale Kites now is down there holding his leg.
Well,
are they going to let him have a timeout?
Yes, they've got to if he's injured. But in any event, they're going to have to punt the ball. It's 4th down and 11 on the old 45, and the kicker, Streeter, coming in the ball game, is a good athlete.
All right, while they're attending to Dale Kites, the executive producer of ABC Sports is Bruce Arledge, senior producer of ABC's college football games, Chuck Howard. Coverage of the Gator Bowl tonight, produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Andy Sedaris. Way to go, Andy. Our technical director, Bill Morris, associate director, Ben Harvey, our technical manager, Vern Carrick, unit manager, Dick Frost, assistant to the producer, Peter Englehart, researcher, Jerry Klein, stat man, as we told you, Mike Swanson, our blimp pilot tonight, Pat Henry, and the Goodyear Public Relations representative, Mickey Whitman, our stage manager, Garland Pete, and did I miss anybody? And all of our good guys who worked the cameras for you tonight to bring you the picture from the Gator Bowl. With 1 minute and 10 seconds to play in the football game, the most valuable players for Michigan, John Wangler, Anthony Carter. For North Carolina, Matt Kupek and Amos Lawrence. Kupek, most impressive. I frankly have got to say to you that I am most impressed with Dick Crumb's preparation of his North Carolina football team for this game.
You know, this is a great win for him. And also, it has a little special meaning because he's been somewhat of an admirer of Bo when he was a high school coach and used to go to the University of Miami campus and visit with Bo and talk football. Now, Keith, one thing I want to mention. The referee has the option of starting the clock. If he thinks the injury was fake, he can start the clock upon ready. But evidently, it was not a fake
another
injury.
knee.
No, that's another knee. But he does have the option if he feels that he's justified.
Remember, later tonight, ABC News continuing coverage of the crisis in Iran, America held hostage, following your local news, which will be coming up right after the ball game. Now the clock has been started.
Now the kicking team is coming in, and what Dick Crum was telling them, fellas, don't worry about the coverage. We're going to kick it short and up in the air. We want a good snap. Everybody block, but above all means, Streeter, get the kick off. 10 men rushing.
Don't worry about taking a 5-yard penalty for too much time either.
One step and kick it.
There's the too much time right there. 44 seconds. So they'll back Carolina up 5, but they don't care. What they care about is that score on the board, 17-15.
But this is a touchy situation. A bad snap puts Michigan right back in the ball game within field goal range and with the win.
Carter's deep. Pressure's on. Kick is away. Big roll. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. All the way back to the 6-yard line. A 57-yard punt with the roll into the wind. 34 seconds to play in the football game. 1 year ago, Clemson from the Atlantic Coast Conference beat Ohio State from the Big Ten 17-15. Right now, North Carolina is on the verge of beating Michigan by the identical score.
Dick Crum, as you mentioned, has had his team expertly prepared. His coaches say that he really relates to his players. He's low-key, soft-spoken, easy to talk to, but creates an atmosphere of a friend to each of the players.
Dickey out of the end zone. Goes short to Woelfel. Butch is out to the 15, short of the first down. Remember, Michigan with no more timeouts remaining. Got to get beyond the first down marker in order to stop the clock. We're now inside 20 seconds. Dickey chased out of the pocket. Gets his first down, running to the sidelines, and goes out of bounds up around the 23-yard line with Paul Davis pursuing in 10, and you have 6 seconds to play in the game. 6 seconds. And from all of us at ABC Sports, we hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Wish for all of you a very happy New Year. And we certainly hope you'll join us New Year's Day for the Sugar Bowl game from New Orleans at 2 Eastern Time, matching Alabama and Arkansas. Keith Jackson, Frank Broyles, and Dave Dials with you tonight here at the Gator Bowl. And it's been an outstanding college football game. On first down, Dickey will put it up. He throws it short to Betts. And Betts is brought down. And the football game is over. And North Carolina has won. The Atlantic Coast Conference has beaten the Big Ten for the second successive year. Carolina with a gritty defense, a very flexible, imaginative offense, beats Michigan. As North Carolina celebrates, remember tomorrow, a memorable tour of the 1970s on ABC's Wide World of Sports at 5 Eastern and Pacific, 4 Central Time. Clip provided tonight by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. This has been a presentation of The Leader. ABC Sports, bringing you exclusive coverage when the world comes to America this February for the 1980 Winter Olympics. From the Gator Bowl, North Carolina 17, Michigan 15.
Tonight, watch an ABC News special, The Iran Crisis, America Held Hostage. What has happened today? What is expected tomorrow? What are President Carter's options? While the crisis continues, stay with ABC News for unprecedented late-night special reports, tonight and every night.
In the news tonight, 5 Metro police officers faced manslaughter charges in the death of insurance man Arthur McDuffie, while family and friends mourn his death. Junior Orange Bowlers play Queen for a night. Almost anything. Chuck Dowdle's up in Pittsburgh, and Larry Sugarman is sitting in, and everybody's just thinking about that game on Sunday.
2 days. And counting. The Steelers are listed anywhere from 6.5 to 9.5 point favorites for Sunday's game. But who are those guys up there? Who are the next Dolphin opponents? Well, Chuck didn't have anything to do the other day.
So they sent me to Pittsburgh to do a story on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, everybody knows about the Franco Harrises, the Lynn Swans, and the Terry Bradshaws. So tonight, I thought you'd like to meet the real Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hi, Danny Wasik, 6'1", 185 pounds, metallurgist.
Joseph Wagner, 6'6", 220, hooker.
I'm Bill McCollum, 5'10", 210 pounds, and the second helper.
This is where the real Steelers work, at the U.S. Steel Mill in Homestead on the banks of the Monongahela River. Here, the real Steelers produce more than 2.5 million tons of steel annually for use throughout American industry. And here is where the real Steelers play, at Miller's Bar in the Homestead Hotel, directly across the street from the mill. Virtually any time of day or night, real Steelers can be found here quenching their thirst and barstool quarterbacking.
I definitely think Pittsburgh's going to take it.
Why?
they're like the working people of this town, hard.
What makes the Steelers so good?
Desire, personnel. I think the front office, really.
We're a family. Everybody pitches in and helps out, and easy 35 points Sunday.
Roughly 30,000 of these real Steelers will be in the stands Sunday at Three Rivers Stadium as Miami and Pittsburgh go at it. I guess you could call them the real Steelers special team. In Pittsburgh, I'm Chuck Dowdle, Newswatch 10.
35 points. The Dolphins are in very good shape for the game on Sunday. Both Neil Colsey and Doug Betters are probable, although A.J. Dewey will start in place of Betters. Today in practice, Ralph Ortega sprained his back, but he will play. The 1979 All-Pro team has been named. None were Dolphins. 2 were rookies, O.J. Anderson from the Cardinals and punter Bob Grutt from the Chiefs. 19 of the 25 players selected were from the AFC. 5 were from the Oilers, 4 from the Steelers, and the Broncos placed 3 players on the squad. Tonight up in Jacksonville, the Gator Bowl, Michigan and North Carolina. This is Michigan kicking a field goal to start it off, 20 yards. It's good. Michigan has the lead, 3-0. And they were going to add more. Quarterback John Wangler spots Anthony Carter 53 yards later. Carter's into the end zone, and Michigan has the lead by the score of 9-0 just before the half. Extra point was missed. Fullback Doug Pascal is going to score right here just before the half. That makes it Michigan 9, North Carolina 7. With a lot of injuries tonight, but who cares? They got all season to heal. Third quarter, Amos Lawrence running, Matt Kupek passing, and the North Carolina people cheering, and the Tar Heels come right on back. Kupek to Bill Ferris. North Carolina is going to take the lead right here by the score of 14-9, a 5-point lead. They had a field goal to make it 17-9, and it looks safe. But B.J. Dickey, with less than 2 minutes to go in the game, finds Carter. That makes it 17-15. Are they going to go for 2? You bet your boots they are. Now watch how close they come right here. Just on the fingertips, he misses it. That's the final. North Carolina wins over Michigan by the score of 17-15. A few stats to note prior to Tuesday's Orange Bowl. The Sooners, a rushing team, have fumbled 53 times, losing 36. The Seminoles, a passing team, have thrown 17 interceptions, 14 by Jimmy Jordan. If FSU hopes to win, turnovers no doubt will be the key. They can't afford to make any mistakes, but they better keep their eyes open for any OU mistakes. NBA scores for you tonight. It was Detroit over Denver, 114-98. New Jersey.
Colonel Charles Buckner, 4th Parachute Brigade.
Charles Thomas Buckner, Colonel, 0628324.
Private Fred Canfield.
Canfield, 873-5216.
located, Colonel? Well?
Charles Thomas Buckner, Colonel, 0628324.
Buckner. Or is it Buchner? You are of German origin. Hmm? Then why do you keep such peculiar company? Why don't you answer? I'll tell you why. Because you are a bastard. All Americans are mongrels. Negro, Jew, Polish, Italian, Irish. Every possible race. And your women are whores. You are all like children. Coca-Cola, Hollywood, chewing gum. Stupid, cowardly bastard!
Tell them to drop their weapons on the floor.
Nicht schießen! Nicht schießen! Lassen Sie sofort Ihre Waffen unter den Tisch!
You know, it's surprising how well these old things work. How you doing, Colonel?
Just fine.
Tony, are you ready for our exit?
Okay, throw the rope to Burl.
Now, don't you get hung up in it.
Heil Hitler.
Hi, Hitler. An awful lot of trouble just to get a hold of a truck, don't you think?
You should have heard what that SS officer said about you.
What did he say about me?
No, can't. No.
What did he say about me?
You go first.
Jawohl.
Now, this is a diagram of the railroad train in question. This car here is our main objective. It's a mobile laboratory carrying the prototype of the new V-2 rocket warhead. Now, the aim of the mission is to take back the gyroscope of the rocket's guidance system. My men had trained for weeks on a car identical to this one. They knew every nut and bolt on it. This is the route the train will take. Here at Bouillet, it will stop to pick up 2 German rocket experts who are to arrive by car. Lieutenant Yeager and I will be those experts. The French will take care of the real ones. When the train has reached this point, Burl and Tony, with the help of the partisans, will blow this bridge. With the bridge out, the train will be forced to return to this junction. And then we'll continue along this alternate route. Once the bridge is blown, Burl and Tony will take advantage of the confusion to board the train. And during the shunting maneuvers, Tony will uncouple the armored car carrying the escort. At Pointe-Moisson, Veronique's partisans will attack the station and deviate the train toward the American lines. Canfield will be working with the partisans. There's an American battalion stationed 11 miles from Pomazone.
What's the big deal? All we gotta do is steal a damn choo-choo.
Well, any questions?
What's my part in all this, Colonel? I haven't got it straight.
Well, first of all, you've got a lot of documents to forge. Then you'll drive us to the train. When you see us get on the train, you'll transmit the okay to the group at the bridge. If Rene doesn't receive your message, he'll blow the bridge with the train on it.
Right.
Now, any more questions?
When do we start?
The train will arrive at Bouillet at 13 hours tomorrow. An hour before that, the partisans will intercept the car carrying the 2 rocket experts.
Achtung, Überfall! Wenn du den Fall machst, der Feugen!
Nicole!
Tony! What are you doing here? You should be at the bridge.
Now, you remember what I said. You take care.
You too.
Papier, bitte.
3, 4, Abstand haben her! 8 Zentimeter Abstand! Schöne Hunde! Links, 2, 3, 4, links, 2, 3, 4, rechts!
Alles in Ordnung. Kann passieren.
Links, 2, 3, 4, links, 2, 3, 4, rechts!
Der kleinste Fehler kann fatal sein. Führen Sie also strikt
Einmal war ich auch dabei. Das war wirklich eine wunderschöne Zeit.
Cross your fingers.
Los geht's,
Halt, halt. Ihre Ausweise bitte. Alles in Ordnung. Sie können einsteigen. Bitte. Danke. Herr Major.
Herr General Sieg, die Offiziere, Ritter und Schäfer.
Guten Tag, meine Herren. Es freut mich, Sie kennenzulernen. Zug fährt in einigen Minuten ab. Bitte, nehmen Sie Platz.
Ja, Herr General, aber wir würden lieber gleich mit der Arbeit anfangen.
Entschuldigen Sie, Herr Major, aber niemand darf das Labor betreten, bevor sich der Zug in Bewegung setzt.
Ja, natürlicherweise, Herr Oberleutnant, natürlicherweise.
Natürlich.
Erste Abteilung, einsteigen! Zweite Abteilung, einsteigen! Lieb auf, dritte Abteilung, einsteigen! Lieg, 2, 3, 4,
Hello.
Fünfte Abteilung, sechste Abteilung, einsteigen! Die Leiter sind schneller hier! Fällt ab, nochmal! Alles zu der Landschaft! Jawohl! Ihr seid alle Schlafsäcke!
Der Flug ist wurde abgefasst. Was? Ja.
Allô? Allô? Rien. Rien du tout. Nothing. Keep trying. Allô?
Something must have happened in Bouillet. We gotta let the train get on the bridge and blow it up.
General, wir fahren jetzt ab, dann können wir arbeiten, nicht wahr?
Natürlich. Aber zuerst muss ich Sie bitten, die Waffen hier abzulegen. Eine Formalität.
Ja, eine Formalität, Herr General. Ja,
Schäfer?
Ja?
Majorita?
Ja?
Ich bin Oberst Hauser. Oberst Brenner ist in der Dunkelkammer. Er wird bald hier sein, um Ihnen behilflich zu sein. Bitte setzen Sie sich. Er hat mir bereits gesagt, dass er noch vor 1 mit Ihnen zusammengearbeitet hat. Dies sind die Einzelheiten. Das finden Sie alles, was Sie brauchen. Viel Vergnügen. Entschuldigen Sie mich bitte.
Danke.
Look at this plan. See this green wire? It's connected to an auto-destruct mechanism. It's a device that could blow up this whole shebang in about 15 seconds.
Ich gehe zu Oberst Brenner, um ihn zu begrüßen.
Ja, ist gut. Oberst Brenner, Hauptmann Schäfer kommt Sie begrüßen.
Schäfer.
Jawohl, Herr Oberst.
Es freut mich, Sie wiederzusehen, Schäfer. Entschuldigen Sie mich bitte einen Moment.
The train is arriving.
Nick! Jaeger and Buckner are on the train. Blow the bridge up. Blast it. What a ride. Blow it up. Allez-y.
Setzt die Fenster! Seid schussbereit!
Die Brücke ist gesprengt. Unmöglich weiterverfahren.
Warum halten wir? Wieso
Der
das?
Mitteldraht ist eingestürzt.
Nehmen sofort Kontakt mit dem Hauptquartier auf. Wir müssen um jeden Preis den Wagen mit den V2-Sprengkörpern retten.
Es gibt eine Route, aber sie ist nicht sicher. Sie geht zu nah an den amerikanischen Linien vorbei. Geben Sie dem Lokomotivführer Anweisung, im Rückwärtsgang bis zum Schienenwechsel zu fahren.
Herr General, Oberst Benner? Er ist in der Dunkelkammer. Ich sehe jetzt nach ihm.
Nehmen Sie Kontakt auf mit Pont-Monson. Meine Herren, hallo? Wir sehen hier auf der Landkarte... Hallo?
Hallo, Pont-Monson. Hier Kommandowagen Dick. Die Brücke ist gesprengt. Wir kehren zurück. Wie ist die Lage dort? Der Handbuch berichtet die Gewalt nicht, dass die Linie bis Pont-Monson frei und die Lage ruhig ist. Ich fasse. Ja, die Lage ist ruhig. Die Linie ist wirklich frei.
Jaeger. Hold your breath, Lieutenant.
How you doing, Colonel?
Amenez-le ici. Voilà, étendez-le par terre.
Emportez nos blessés, récupérez toutes les armes.
Merde! Where did they come from?
Il y a notre train qui arrive plein de monde. Marquez-vous. Hey, oui, oui, mais... Allez, à vitesse.
Stop the other train! Go on! Go on!
Dépêchez-vous, les mecs!
Bleiben Sie still! Tony? Quick! Now throw down your guns! He's stolen! Still! Now faces against the wall! Du auch, du. Tony? Take care. Open the door. You! The door. Yes. Time to get up. Now feet his aim. Achtung! Offiziere stürzen aus dem Zuge. Sag, was geschieht?
Sorceries im Haus versteckt.
Join your comrades. I'll get you the train.
How you doing, Colonel?
Almost finished. Oh, for Christ's sake. I've activated the self-destruct mechanism. Hey, it stopped. What the hell happened?
They stuck a pencil in there. We're almost at the station.
Nearly done.
Station's full of crowds!
How you feeling?
Not too good.
Do you want to get out there?
After you.
I got a couple of things to do first.
Whatever you say. I didn't have a ticket anyway.
Let's go. Vernique sailed, and the Germans are waiting for us at the station. How you doing, Colonel?
Hold your breath, Lieutenant. I think I've got it out. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Interesting. That's what we came for?
And now we've got to get off this train.
Well, there's something I've got to do first. You go right ahead, sir.
Okay, Bob.
You take care, Colonel.
Tom.
Tom? Okay, take care, Tom.